All right, if you want to go ahead, give me a...
Testing 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. That sounds good.
Yep.
And I sound perfect in my ear. That's more importantly just to make sure that we drown out all the noise, because there's going to be a lot of noisemakers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I bet.
And I've got your text message here on the UIL reader.
Okay, yeah.
So
Perfect.
just kind of nudge me if I forget to do it once. I hope to do it like maybe in the first couple of innings or something like that. Or maybe I'll do it in the open and then maybe in a couple of innings or something like that.
Perfect.
Pregame show continues. It's now time to visit with Aledo head coach Heather Myers before this Class 5A Division I state semifinal game against Melissa. And coach, obviously, pregame show continues. It's now time to visit with Aledo head coach Heather Myers before this Class 5A Division I state semifinal game against Melissa. And coach, obviously,
When you reach the state semifinals in any sport, it signals the season is magnificent but not fulfilled. Tonight here in Denton County on the Denton High School campus, Aledo's softball team embarks on its 8th trip to this round of the playoffs and its 5th appearance in the last 6 years. Standing in the Ladycats' way to reach the Class 5A Division I championship is what you would call the gold standard of high school softball, the Melissa Lady Cardinals. NTX Varsity Sports brings you coverage coverage of the Class 5A Division I state semifinals. It's the Region 1 champion, Aledo Ladycats, versus the Region 2 champion, Melissa Cardinals. A berth to next Friday's state championship game in Austin is on the line. Aledo is 29-10. Melissa is 33-2. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Lonnquist, joined by my producer and engineer, Brody Gates, here in this what should be a packed house in Denton County. We're expecting a fire marshal crowd before this one is over tonight. This Melissa program is looking for a third consecutive state championship. It has lost a total of 5 games in the last 3 seasons. Aledo is looking for a measure of payback. When these two met in this round last spring, defensive mistakes proved pivotal. Melissa won going away 15-4. Now the Ladycats have said all the right things leading up to this rematch. They believe they learned a lot from 2025 and are not concerned about the records and what they say about each team going into this one. It's about going 1-0 tonight. So much has been made about this Melissa lineup. It has punished the opposition in its postseason run. Through its 6 playoff games, the Cardinals have scored 82 runs, nearly 14 per game, and have won via the run rule in all of them. And this team has belted 98 home runs this year. But Aledo's postseason run is also impressive. The Ladycats are 6-1, have won 4 of their 7 via the run rule, and have averaged better than 9 runs per game. But whether it's softball or baseball, the adage remains true. Good pitching will stop good hitting, always has, always will. So that's the assignment given to Aledo sophomore right-hander Tempe Perry. She knows what she's facing, but she's confident. Now it's about executing her pitches to gain the advantage. So we'll see. The winner meets the winner of either Barbers Hill or Leander from the other state semifinal. That best-of-3 series just getting underway tonight down in Waller. We'll try to keep you posted on that one. When we come back on our pregame show, a visit with Aledo head coach Heather Myers, the lineups, and then pitch-by-pitch coverage. Aledo Ladycats playoff softball is a presentation of Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, and you're listening to live coverage of Aledo postseason action on NTX Varsity Sports.com. Back after this word.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Pregame show continues. It's now time to visit with Aledo head coach Heather Myers before this Class 5A Division I state semifinal game against Melissa. And Coach, obviously, we talked on the podcast on Monday, but now here we are, game day, moments away from the opening pitch of this game. What's been kind of like your mood of your team as they've gotten ready for this? And now, since today is here and the game is almost to be played, what their mindset has been?
They're ready. They've been pretty calm, doing their normal game day stuff. They don't seem intimidated in any way. They're ready to play.
Did you put a lot of emphasis on how last year's meeting went, or did you just say we have to forget that and this is a new game and it's all about being 1-0 tonight, or how much did they even talk about last year's meeting? Because obviously that can still be fresh in some players' minds.
Yeah, we didn't discuss it at all. It's in the past. There's nothing we can do to change it. So they know this team. They know these girls. They've played with them. They've played against them. So this is not a new experience for them. So we're going in just knowing that we've got to compete, and that's our goal.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about with Tempe getting the start tonight. I would imagine that for her, getting count leverage, throwing first pitch strikes is going to be essential to try and get the advantage here and try and get them on the defense. What's beyond that, if you will?
We're going to keep them off balance as much as we can. And they're a good hitting team. They're making adjustments throughout the at-bat, not just, their next at-bat, but you see them moving in the box during a series of pitches. So they're very disciplined. So we're going to have to keep them off balance for sure.
Is that different than any other team that you've seen, the way they just kind of adjust, either way they're sitting in the stance or the way they're just their plan at the plate? How different is it than anybody else you've seen? Abilene, Lubbock Monterey, anybody else?
You don't see many teams making the adjustments on the fly like they do. I mean, I feel like we do that very well in the box through the series of an at-bat, but Melissa definitely is one of the few that I've seen do it. I've watched countless film at this point, and they're the one team that I've seen make the adjustment on the fly.
Okay. Your offense this postseason has been very productive, averaging 9 runs per game. Can you talk a little bit about what you've seen, especially in the last 2 games, series finale against Lubbock Monterey, and of course in the regional championship against Abilene, where you've combined to score 30 runs? What'd you like about what you saw from that production?
I like that they stayed disciplined. They didn't chase pitches that they weren't supposed to be chasing. Everybody's got a pitch that they like, and so they know to hunt that pitch. And if that pitch is not being called for a strike, they're taking it. So they're being super disciplined, even on pitches that they normally like to swing at. So they're adjusting to the umpire zone very well. They're knowing what their strengths are and being able to attack a zone, even if it's not something they necessarily like. They're still able to adjust and attack. So I really like that.
Speaking of umpires, you've got a crew out of Central Texas working this game today. You obviously had a crew from the South Plains working it. When you have a neutral group working a game like this, there's some good and some bad from it. The bad is you're not familiar with them and you don't know what their zones are going to be, but at the same time, you also realize there's kind of some freshness of it because both teams are walking into the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one thing that I have been praying is that no matter what, they have to be fair. Even if they don't want to be fair, that they have to be fair on both sides of the ball. I don't want them to be, leaning towards us and not against them. I want it to be fair on both sides of the ball. So really, I think that's what any coach is expecting, that, if you're going to have a bad zone, have a bad zone on both sides of the ball. If you're going to have a good zone, have a good zone on both sides of the ball. So just looking for fairness, that's all I'm looking for.
Okay. One-game playoffs, of course, are part and parcel for what you've been a part of in these playoffs already. You've been through a lot of them. They played in a couple of them, too. But when we get to this stage of the season where the magnitude of it and what's at stake becomes a little bit higher, again, how do you make sure that they just kind of keep it as normal as they can? Like it can be a best-of-3 series.
Right, we have to talk to them about that. I feel like they understand at this point, as mature as they are, but we talk to them about just playing our game. It's not like the end of the road or the end of their life if they lose or whatever, so like we want them to play in their game as much as they can. So don't stress about if you make an error, let it go. If you strike out, let it go. We got to move on to the next play because you're only as good as your next attempt. So we're trying to keep them calm and go play our game.
Appreciate your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
Pregame show continues after this timeout. You're listening to Aledo Ladycat Playoff Softball on NTX Varsity Sports.com.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here in the campus of Denton High School, Kevin Longquist here on NTXVarsitySports.com. We're happy to be bringing you this state semifinal game. They are going through the introductions here of the starting lineups and, of course, the entire rosters of both teams. They've just introduced Melissa, and for Aledo, they are going through their final announcements of who is on this team. We should tell you that Aledo is the home team in this game. It will occupy the first base dugout. Melissa, obviously the visiting team, they will be in the third base dugout. Weather conditions brought to us by the Deacon who put this together on the fly, so thanks to him. We will start off at 79 degrees. The dew point is at 65. 5% chance of rain. The humidity at 63%. The winds will light and variable, and we need more of that. Time now for our national anthem. Our national anthem here at Denton High School. Let's give you the starting lineups for this game. Again, Melissa is the visiting team. They will start off with junior shortstop Finley Williams. Batting second and playing in center field is the sophomore Braden Young. Batting third and doing the catching is the junior Hutton Adrian. Batting fourth and playing at third base is senior Kennedy Bradley. Batting fifth and playing at first base is a junior Izzy Gonzalez. Batting sixth and playing at second base is a junior Shug Bradford. Batting seventh and playing in right field is a freshman Anna Gonzalez. Batting eighth, the designated player, a junior Rihanna Wren. And batting ninth, the left fielder, a senior Hattie Winter. The pitcher is Eloisa Mays. She has a record of 30-2 and an ERA of 1.27. Now for the Ladycats under the direction of Heather Myers, they will look like this. Senior Delaney Rosser leads off. She plays short. Batting second, the sophomore and tonight's starting pitcher, Tempe Perry. Batting third and playing at third base, the senior Kylie Pollock. Batting fourth, the junior in left field, Riley Marks. Batting fifth and playing in right field, the junior Kaylee Martin. Batting sixth and playing at first base, sophomore Brooklyn Taloa. Batting seventh, and the designated player, but she can also play left if Heather Meyer feels to do that. That's junior Kennedy Cardenas. Batting eighth and playing in center field is the senior Kellen Overturf. And batting ninth and doing the catching is senior Bradley Meyer. Ladycats have just taken the field, so let's give you the defensive lineup for them. They will look like this. Bradley Meyer behind the plate. She catches Tempe Perry. Over at first base is Brooklyn Taloa. Autumn Goodell is over at second base. Delaney Rosser is at short. Kylie Pollock is at third. The outfield looking like this with, it looks like we're going to have that switch there in left field. So we're going to have Kennedy Cardenas in left field rather than Riley Marks. Riley will be the designated player. And then in the center field, we're going to have Kellen Overturf, and over in right is Kaylee Martin. On the mound, again, Tempe Perry, the sophomore, a record of 14-4, ERA of 2.01 on the season. She's had a phenomenal season. She was dynamite last week in the run rule win over Abilene in the regional finals. She went 5 innings, struck out 2, walked 2, only gave up a pair of singles. And when Abilene had a runner reach second base in the 5th inning, in that inning in which Aledo closed it out, that was the first time they had anyone reach second base in the game. Probably not going to happen in this one here, as Melissa is loaded. This is a team that hits well over 400 for the year, and we are about to get underway here. Tempe Perry against Finley Williams for the right to go to the state championship game down in Austin next Friday afternoon. Perry works, and the opening pitch of our game is taken outside for ball 1, 1-0. And we have a, what you would call a bird's eye view of this batter's box, because we are just a little bit to the right of home plate, but we can see pretty much on the inside and outside corners. Perry works 1-0 to Finley, and here's the 1-0, and she goes off speed, and it's just a little bit low, 2-0. Good take there by Williams as she dropped something off speed, but Williams wouldn't bite. Williams, Young, and then Adrian here, the top 3 order in this pitch, and it actually hits Williams on the inside of her instep on her left leg, so the first base runner is aboard for Melissa here on a hit batter to start the game. That'll bring up Braden Young. Young for the year at .453. She has 5 home runs, and she has driven in 23 runs on the year. For Williams, by the way, she is the leading home run hitter for this team with 22, and she's driven in 71. So Williams at first, maybe not a bad idea, rather than see her run around the bases, put her at first and make her camp out. First pitch to Young is taken high and away for ball 1, 1-0. And a quick word from catcher Bradley Meyer out to Tempe Perry just to kind of get her to calm down, because she's thrown 4 pitches and all of them have missed the strike zone to start this game. Braden Young, a right-handed hitter. Twitching motion there by Tempe Perry, as always, in her pitching motion, and she rocks and comes in. Pitch is taken for a strike. Runner goes from second base. The throw goes into center field, but holding at second base is Finley Williams. She has a stolen base on that. Meyer had to throw that ball from her knees to see if she could even get it remotely close. Rosser was covering from short, but by the time she got there, the ball was into center field. However, Overturf was quickly on it to back it up to keep Williams at second base. So now a runner at second base, a 1-1 count, as that pitch was taken for a strike. Perry rocks and brings it in, and the pitch is swung on a chop foul behind the plate. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. For Perry this year, she has struck out 91 and walked 43 in her 18 appearances. Again, a record of 14-4, but she's been really, really good here in the playoffs, undefeated at 4-0. The pitch, 5-0 rather. The pitch is taken way outside for ball 2-2-2. I think that one might have slipped out of her hand because that had no movement to it, and it just drifted away and out of the strike zone to the bottom half of the left-handed hitter's box. 2-2 pitch. And it swung on and grounded foul up along third down the line. Diving stop by Pollock, but obviously well fouled, so we keep it even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pollock is playing even with the bag at third. Rosser in the hole at short. Outfield is pretty well straight away. The wind has picked up just a little bit here since we just started a few moments ago. 2-2 pitch, and it swung on and popped up into right field, and it's going to drop and went into no man's land between Martin and Goodell. Should have been called for an out, but unfortunately there was a communication gaffe there apparently between Goodell and Martin, and it drops harmlessly into that no man's land area for a single. And so runners at the corners as Williams takes third, and that brings up Hutton Adrian. Adrian at .539 on the year. She's one of the home run leaders. She has 18. She's driven in 69. Pitch is taken away. Runner breaks from second base. It squirts away from Meyer, and so another stolen base for Melissa here in this first inning by Young. She's safely at second base on that stolen base. So now runners at second and third. Nobody out here. A 1-0 count to Hutton Adrian. Right-handed hitting junior catcher. The pitch is taken over the outside corner for strike 1. 1-1. Now the disappointing thing about that is that against a team like Melissa, you've got to get the outs when you can. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for the Ladycats there just a few moments ago. Nobody out, 2 runners on in scoring position for Melissa. The pitch is taken over the inner half of the plate, but it's too far inside for ball 2, 2-1. That thing kind of dipped inside. It was close, but it tailed away into the right-handed hitting Adrian. Kennedy Bradley waits next, the cleanup hitter. 2-1 pitch from Tempe Perry. And it's taken down and low for ball 3, 3-1. So a hitter's count for Adrian. Again, 18 home runs. She's one of 4 players with double figures in home runs. She has 18. The leadoff hitter, Finley Williams, with 22 to lead the team. And then Bradley, who's about to hit next, she's got 21. 3-1 pitch is taken in there for strike 2, 3-2. Adrian made a motion like she was going to go to first base on that, but that was clearly in there for strike 2. So a full count now. Perry wants to work quickly here. Obviously needs to try and get an out here because there's nobody out in this Melissa first inning. Twitches that ball on her right hip, and now time called by Adrian as she steps away. Perry now into her motion and the payoff. And it's swung on and chopped toward Rosser at third. She'll throw to third for the force out, and it's in time to get the oncoming Braden Young. The run does score from third in Finley Williams, but Rosser had a hard hit ball right to her. She goes to Kylie Pollock at third for the out. That's recorded. Adrian goes to first on the fielder's choice. So the Ladycats cut down the second runner in scoring position. And now Adrian is at first. Big out there for the Ladycats. Now a pinch runner is going to be used here for Melissa. They're going to use Riley Fagan. She's a junior outfielder. They're going to use her in place, of course, the catcher, Hutton Adrian. So Kennedy Bradley steps in. She's hitting .505 this year, 21 home runs, and she's knocked in 67. Mentioned this team of Melissa hitting well over 400, 415 for the year. Pitches dropping low for ball 1, 1-0. Good, smart decision. Call move, too, by Delaney Rosser to make that play at third, and Pollock also showing her composure to put the tag on Young. 1-0 Melissa here in the early go. Perry rocks, and the 1-0 pitch is taken over the inside corner for strike 1, 1-1. This umpiring crew, there are 3 of them. They are from Central Texas, so that's from the Waco, Belton area. 3 umpires working on this, and the pitch. Swung on and pulled foul up along third and down the line, and the count is 1-2. The umpires with a runner at first, behind the plate, at first base, and then at second base. The dimensions of this field, everything in high school pretty much is symmetrical. It's 205 down the lines, 215 to dead center. That outfield fence is probably about 7 to 8 feet high, and then in dead center, starting from the alleys toward dead center, is about 15 feet. Pitch is taken outside for ball 2, 2-2. Happy that you're with us here on ntxvarsitysports.com, and don't forget to join us tomorrow afternoon. 11:45 is the pregame show. High noon is the first pitch for the baseball team in the regional finals in Midland to take on El Paso Americas. 2-2 pitches taken down and away for ball 3, 3-2. Parker Burros will have that call for you for what will be a for sure doubleheader. Ball 3 and strike 2 to Kennedy Bradley here. Tempe brings it inside for ball 4. And that is the first walk issued by Perry, as Adrian will trot down to second base. That'll bring up Izzy Gonzalez. Gonzalez for the year at 368, 6 home runs and 25 driven in. She's also one of the run leaders on this team with 37. Hitting out of the number 5 spot, right-handed hitter. Perry brings it in. She throws in there for a strike. Took a little bit off. And I think Gonzalez was looking for a little bit more velo on that, but that was a little off speed, and it's strike 1. Runners at first and second. 1 out here, top of the first. Melissa with a 1-run lead early. The pitch is swung on and hit down the right field line, twisting away and into the foul territory, which hits the roof of the batting cage. This is an absolutely phenomenal facility here. This school, the new Denton High School, opened 4 years ago, but this is about as good a playing field as you can ask for. Covered batting cage down the right field line on the other side of the first base dugout. 2-strike pitch coming to Gonzalez, and it's skipping in there for ball 1, 1-2. The runners had a notion, but they quickly get back to their respective bags. Adrian at second and Bradley at first. A pretty big gap in left center field. In fact, the alleys are pretty well wide open here as the outfielders are playing straight away in right and in left. 1-2 pitch. Swung on a hit high in the air to right field. Martin has a beat on it, and she makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Adrian. Throw comes back into Rosser, who's at second base, and that's out number 2. Bradley remains at first. Good pitch by Perry as she had Gonzalez leaning just a little bit out where she could extend, but she had to maybe overextend a little bit. Now Shug Bradford, the junior second baseman, comes to the plate. Bradford on the year, 329. She's one of those double-figure home run folks with 11. She's knocked in 30. The pitch is skipping in and gets away from Meyer and down to second base with what probably we'll call as a wild pitch is Kennedy Bradley. But you'd rather keep it in front of you than let it get behind you and give Adrian the opportunity to try and score. 1-0 pitch coming here to Bradford, the number 6 batter in this Melissa lineup. Perry rocks in the 1-0 pitch. There's an off-speed pitch over the inside corner for strike 1, 1-1. 2 outs here in the first inning. And if Aledo can get out of this by allowing only 1 run, that would be some serious work done by Tempe Perry. 1-1 pitch coming to Shug Bradford. She swings and hits it high and deep to left field, and it's over the head of Cardenas into the wall. 2 runs are going to score on a double by Bradford, and it's 3-0 Melissa. Well, she didn't miss that pitch. She got a hold of that thing, and it was right over Cardenas's head. Nothing she could do about that. So 2 runs are in. The double plates them. And Melissa has a 3-0 lead. And that'll bring up Anna Gonzalez, the freshman right fielder. Perry rocks and comes home, and she throws a strike, and it's 0-1. Anna Gonzalez hitting at .340. 3 home runs for her. She's driven in 26. The wind and the pitch. And that skips in there for ball 1, 1-1. One thing about Melissa, if you give them extra outs, they're going to make you pay for it. And that's what they've done here in this top of the first inning with 3 runs. 1-1 pitch to Anna Gonzalez coming. Perry winds and brings it. And it's just low for ball 2, 2-1. It's been a long first inning here for Perry. She's thrown a lot of pitches. And the 2-1. Swung on and pulled foul. That came in on her fist on the inner half of the bat, and she rocked it into the screen near the Melissa dugout. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second, 2 out, 3-0 Melissa here, trying to add to it. Of course, Perry trying to put out the fire right now. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air into shallow center field. Overturf comes in, makes the catch, and the inning is over. But Melissa plates 3, a big 2-run double by Shug Bradford, and they leave a runner at second base. They get 3, and the Ladycats come into first here in the bottom of the first inning in Denton.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Fans, don't miss the UIL State Event of the Year. That is the 2026 State Softball Championships taking place next Thursday through Saturday. That'll be the 28th, 29th, and 30th down at Red and Charlene McCombs Field. For schedule, spectator, and ticket information, visit uiltexas.org/softball. Again, that's uiltexas.org/softball. Melissa gets 3, and it's top of the first. Now it's time for the Ladycats to come to the lineup. Let's set for Melissa on their defensive side. Hattie Winter will be in left field, and center field is Braden Young, and over in right field is Anna Gonzalez. The infield of Kennedy Bradley at third. Over playing at shortstop is Finley Williams. At second base is Shug Bradford, and then over at first base is Izzy Gonzalez. The catcher is Hutton Adrian, and on the mound is Eloisa Mays. Record of 30-2, an ERA of 1.27 this season. Delaney Rosser, Tempe Perry, and Kylie Pollock here, top 3 in the order, and the Ladycats would like to get an answer here. They always call this the shutdown inning for the team that just had a crooked number in their half of the first inning. Rosser takes outside for ball 1, 1-0. Rosser for the year hitting at .367, 6 home runs and 32 runs driven in. The wind and the pitch, and she's up and in on that one is Mays, and it's ball 2, 2-0. Rosser, you might remember last week, got hit twice by pitches. Not sure what Ava Reyes had against her, but she plunked her twice. 2-0 pitches in there for a strike on a delayed call from the plate umpire, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. We mentioned this is a Centex umpiring crew. Last week's crew came out of the South Plains chapter up in Lubbock for that regional final against Abilene. 2-1 to Rosser, and that is in there for strike 2, 2-2. And now time called as Adrian wants to go out and have a word with Mays. They might have gotten crossed up on the pitch, even though it was called for a strike, but maybe they weren't sure exactly if they were on the same page with what Adrian put down and what Mays threw. Conference over, quick one. 2-2 count to Rosser. Here comes Mays with that 2-2, and it's bouncing in for ball 3, 3-2. And one thing that you'll find too with Delaney Rosser is that she will work the count. Even if she makes it out, she's going to make that starting pitcher show everything in her repertoire, and we've gone full here. Perry waits next, and the payoff is swung on and bounced foul. Barely got a piece of that, did Rosser, as Mays came in with a fastball. And Rosser stays alive. Third baseman Bradley playing just a hair behind the third base bag, but pretty close to the line. Another payoff pitch from Mays to Rosser. She swings and it's high in the air to deep left field. On its way and off the scoreboard for a home run. And that's the answer that Aledo was looking for on the leadoff solo home run for Delaney Rosser. Rosser with home run number 7, RBI. I think I said 32, but she actually had 29. 30 RBIs for her. So the Ladycats do get the answer. That's exactly what Aledo needed here after Melissa plated 3. Now Tempe Perry, the pitcher, she faces her opposing number, and she takes outside for ball 1, 1-0. Bottom of the first inning. The winds have kind of picked up just a little bit here out of the northwest. Pitch is taken outside for ball 2, 2-0. Crowd continues to file in here at this softball facility here on the Denton High School campus. Seating capacity is about 512 is what we're told. We'll be beyond that number. Pitch is taken high and inside for ball 3, 3-0. So Perry with count leverage with a 3-0 count. Kylie Pollock waits next. Mays comes back 3-0, and she gets it in there for strike 1 at 3-1. I hope to tell you that swing that Delaney Rosser had, she was waiting for that thing, and she just cranked that. Second home run in as many weeks for the Ladycats to hit the scoreboard in left field. Perry waits 3-1, and she takes a strike over the outer half of the plate, and it's 3-2. And, of course, the first home run last week was what Perry did. She hit the scoreboard in left field over in Graham. Ball 3 and strike 2 to Tempe Perry. Mays has worked it full after being down 3-0. She brings the payoff, and it's on the outside corner for strike 3 called. And Perry, who took a step toward first, looks back in disbelief to the plate umpire, but she's out of there. And that's the first out in the Aledo first inning. That'll bring up Kylie Pollock, the senior third baseman. Pollock on the year at .423, 7 home runs and a team-leading 40 RBIs. She takes over the inner half of the plate, and it's ball 1. The pitch takes it high for ball 2, 2-0. Mays working a little bit quickly on that, but Pollock, good eye on that. Again, a team-leading 40th RBI. She got her 40th in that big 9-run inning last week in Graham against Abilene. And she takes a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. With nobody on base, the umpires are set accordingly behind home plate, down the line at first, and then down the line at third. 3-1 Melissa, bottom of the first. A pitch is swung on and skied in the air to right field. Gonzalez has a beat on it. She makes the catch, and that's out number 2. So that'll bring up Riley Marks, who is the designated player. And, of course, Riley ignited that 9-run inning last week with a 3-run double to right center field. Marks for the year at .375, 9 home runs and 36 RBIs. She takes a strike, and it's 0-1. By the way, with that home run for Delaney Rosser, that is team home run number 50 for the Ladycats. The pitch, swung on and missed. Marks chased away, and now she's down in the count at 0-2. Mays brings it back 0-2, and the pitch is swung on and fouled off the screen. Just barely getting a piece of it was Marks, and it remains no balls and 2 strikes. This whole part of Denton, which is north of the University of North Texas campus, a lot of development going on out here. Right behind us here in center field, they are building some apartment complexes. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch is swung on and lined into center field right at Young, and she makes the catch. Couple of balls hit hard for the Ladycats here, but they do get the answer they were looking for. Leadoff solo home run for Delaney Rosser, and we go to the top of the second inning. New score, it is Melissa 3 and Aledo 1.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Timeout.
Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Kevin Lonnquist back here at the Hiley Mazda broadcast table. Want to thank Hiley Mazda for being a part of Aledo postseason softball and baseball playoff action. Of course, they will be taking care of us tomorrow when Parker Burroughs makes the big drive to Midland for that doubleheader. Top of the second inning, 8-9-1 for Melissa in its half of the first inning. They start off with Rihanna Wren, and Perry throws a strike. And it's 0-1. She bit the outside corner for that one. Wren, right-handed hitter. The designated player taken outside for ball 1. 1-1. Perry wearing the baseball cap. His shoes from using the catcher's, or that mask, if you will, throws it inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hattie Winter, the number 9 hitter, and then we go back to the top of the order in Finley Williams for Melissa here in the second inning. And the pitch is taken outside and low for ball 3, 3-1. Perry's command a little bit troublesome early on. Hit a batter. That was Finley to Williams to start the game, and then she walked Kennedy Bradley. Behind here in the count at 3-1. Has to get a strike in, and she can't do it. And it's in there for ball 4. So the second walk of the game issued by Tempe Perry. And that'll bring up Hattie Winter, the left fielder. Winter on the year hitting at .294, 3 home runs. She's driven in 16 out of that number 9 spot. Wren is at first base. Brooklyn Taloa charging from the bag at first to see if they might drop a bunt. But this team, it would be breaking news if they did that. Now time called as Winter backs out as Perry took too long reading Meyer. So we'll start again. Perry winds and brings in the opening pitch of this sequence, and it's in there for strike 1, 0-1. Everybody in this lineup for Melissa hitting from the right side. No left-handed hitters. In fact, I think there's only one left-handed hitter between both teams, and that's Kellen Overture. She does drop a bunt. It is in front of the home plate, but the umpire at the plate rules it foul. and it's no balls and 2 strikes. So Aledo was expecting bunt. Winter dropped it, but it caught a little bit of the plate. The ball actually did roll a little bit in front of home plate, but it caught the plate, and then it bounced into the field of play. So no balls and 2 strikes. We'll see if head coach Cassie Captree will keep the bunt on or not here. At 0-2, and it's just down and inside for ball 1, 1-2. Infield would love to play to turn 2 here as Rosser is cheating toward the bag at second base. And the 1-2 pitch is taken off the outside corner for ball 2, 2-2. Perry wanting to see if Winter would bite on that. Two balls and 2 strikes, nobody out. Leadoff runner on for the second consecutive inning here for Melissa. And the pitch. Swung on a bounce foul up along third and toward the Melissa dugout. You can feel where the temperature has dropped since the sun has started dropping. The wind has picked up, so get a little cloud cover. But I'll take this air versus the air that we had on Monday and Tuesdays of this week when it was just complete yucco air. And I mean yucco air. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and lined into left field. That's a solid single to left for Hattie Winter. Moving up 60 feet to second base is Wren. And so the first 2 base runners are on for Melissa here in this second inning. And that'll bring up Finley Williams, the leadoff hitter. She was hit by a pitch to start the game, stole second base, moved to third on a single, and then scored on a fielder's choice. Perry in another heap of trouble here with the first 2 batters on base at first and second. Winds and comes home, and Williams takes it high for ball 1, 1-0. For Williams, she is a verbal commit to the University of Oklahoma. In fact, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players off this team who have either committed or signed to play college softball at the next level, as you would expect. The 2 that have signed are Kennedy Bradley and Hattie Winter, who just singled. The pitch is taken just low for ball 2, 2-0. Bradley has signed with the University of Florida, and Winter signed with King University. That's in Tennessee. Told it's near Nashville. 2 balls and no strikes. Perry has to throw some strikes, and the pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to left field. Cardenas is there, makes the catch, tagging and going to third, and the throw to third. Pollock tries to chase her down, makes the tag on Bradford to record the out. Moving down to second base is Winter, but that's a fly ball double play that Kennedy Cardenas caught, alertly saw Wren moving toward third base rather. She threw to Pollock, and in Wren's attempt to try and get away from the tag, she never touched the base, and it came off at third actually. And when you do, the play is still alive, and Pollock stayed with her and tagged her out. So an unconventional but well-needed double play for the Ladycats here. Braden Young takes a strike. We'll see how that changes things here for the rest of the game, but you got to get this runner out here to try and get out of the inning with no damage. Perry ahead at 0-1, and she brings it outside for ball 1, 1-1. So if you are scoring, that is 7-5 on that double play. Really surprised that Wren took off on a ball hit in front of her on this. Ran herself into an out. Ball 1 and strike 1 to Braden Young. The pitch. She swings and hits it high in the air to right field. In the alley, and diving and making the catch is Kaylee Martin to end the inning. Heck of an effort there by Martin to take extra bases away and get Aledo and Tempe Perry out of the jam. Well, this second inning didn't look very good for the Ladycats with a walk and a base hit, but a double play and a great play by Martin out in right field ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Melissa 3, Aledo 1.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Kevin Lonnquist and Brody Gates here at the Hiley Mazda broadcast table as we are now in the bottom of the second inning. And kudos to Kaylee Martin because she redeemed herself. If you will remember, she kind of got into that no man's land situation there with Autumn Goodell on that fly ball that dropped for a harmless single between them. But then she gets the Ladycats out of it with a diving catch in right field off the bat of Braden Young to get out of the inning. By the way, I caught Braden Young kind of throws her fist in the air in frustration on that to end the inning. But a big swing for Aledo to get out of that inning after Melissa put the first two batters on base. Ladycats come to the bat here in the bottom of the second inning. And speaking of Kaylee Martin, here she is to lead things off. What do we say? The player that makes the great defensive play typically will lead off the bottom of the inning. And she does as Martin, and she takes a strike. And that's how her sequence starts. Martin for the year at 300, and no home runs and 13 RBIs. But a stellar defensive play there for her. And she takes just away for ball 1, 1 and 2. Crowd continues to file in here at Denton High's softball complex. Some of the outfield lights are on. The lights are on behind home plate, but they're not on in the outfield. And now they've come on here. Pitch is swung on a miss. Ball 1 and strike 2 now to Kaylee Martin. She'll be followed by Brooklyn Taloa and then Kennedy Cardenas. 5, 6, and 7 here for the Ladycats. The pitch. And it's off the outside corner for ball 2, 2 and 2. Again, we want to remind you, ntxvarsitysports.com will bring you coverage of the baseball team's Regional Championship Series against El Paso Americas. 11:45 on the pregame show. High noon is the first pitch. They will play 2. And the 2-2 pitch is taken low for ball 3, 3 and 2. Parker Burrows, I'm going to guess that he's going to get up at 5, maybe 6. Yeah, about 5:30 is what Brody's telling me to get out there. That's a 4-hour drive basically from Fort Worth out to Midland. Payoff pitch coming, and it is taken off the outside corner for ball 4. So a great job by Kaylee Martin. She was behind in the count at 0-2, works it full, and then draws the walk. Second base runner for the Ladycats in this ball game. That brings up Brooklyn Taloa. Taloa hitting at 306. And 6 home runs for her and 32 RBIs. That's going to be a long day, though, for Parker. Bless his soul. The pitch is taken in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Again, they have to play 2 tomorrow because these coaches agreed to a best-of-3 series. If they split, they have to wait to play game 3 on Saturday. That would be a 2 o'clock start. And the pitch is taken off the outside corner for ball 1, 1-0. And the main reason is because, and it's partly the reason why we're playing here today on this day, is because Aledo's graduation is on Friday. I'll tell you more about why we wound up playing one game here in just a moment. The graduation's playing a big role in this. Pitch is swung on and foul back to the screen. It's a ball and 2 strikes. So Melissa's graduation is tomorrow, and as I mentioned, Aledo's graduation is Friday. Heather Myers had actually lost the flip, and that meaning that they were going to go series. She wanted to go 1 game, did Coach Myers. But because of logistics, obviously graduation was a problem. They talked about maybe playing a doubleheader today. Cassie Crabtree not in favor of that. Pitch is fisted towards second base, and I think it spun off the glove of the second baseman, Bradford. I thought for a second there that the runner, Kaylee Martin, might have touched it, and if it did, she would have been out, but it just took some weird spin on it. It's an infield single for Taloa. with that inside-out swing. It's going to cause some backspin on it. Bradford did all she could with it. But now the Lady Cats have runners at first and second. Nobody out. Here's Cardenas. And she takes a strike, and it's 0-1. The corners were charging from first and third, anticipating a bunt here from Cardenas. She is the designated player, in left field tonight. But because of a conflict on Saturday, Melissa couldn't do that, so they wound up actually playing one game. Pitch is swung on and lined into left field. That's a base hit. Here comes Martin around third. She will be held by Heather Myers. And the Lady Cats have the bases loaded with nobody out on a solid single to left by Kennedy Cardenas. Moving down to second base is Brooklyn Taloa. And the Lady Cats have the tying runs in scoring position here with nobody out, with Kellen Overturf coming to the plate. Now, what you want to make sure that you're doing here in a situation like this, if you're the Lady Cats coming to the plate, haven't done anything yet. Of course, you put yourself in a position to do something, but don't get over-amped at your at-bats. Do what you've been doing since you started preparing for the 2026 season back in January, and treat this at-bat like you would a tournament game in February or a district game in March. You've got to try and be as settled as you can. That's something that Heather Myers was talking about quite a bit on our podcast on Monday night, saying the first thing I need to see out of my team is being calm all the way through in all three facets, on the mound, at the plate, and playing defensively. There was a time call by Cassie Crabtree. She wanted to have a discussion with her starting pitcher, Mays, kind of get everybody settled here. And of course, Heather Myers had a chance to visit with all of her base runners. Martin at third, Taloa at second, Cardenas is at first. The Lady Cats with 3 base hits in this game, back-to-back singles. Overturf, the left-handed hitting center fielder, and she takes on the outside corner, and it's strike one. The Aledo umpires behind me not real happy with that call. Mays with 191 strikeouts for the year. She throws outside for ball 1-1. Now 192 since she struck out Perry back in the first inning. Doesn't walk many people. She's only had 43 coming into this game, and of course she just walked the leadoff batter in Kaylee Martin. Overturf waits, and the 1-1 pitch with the bases loaded is on the outside corner for strike 2, 1-2. Bradley Meyer waits next here. Nobody out. Bases full of Lady Cats. The infield is playing in to cut off the run at the plate. And a 3-1 lead for Melissa here, bottom of the second. And the pitch is swung on and fouled off defensively by Overturf. She keeps it alive. She keeps the at-bat alive at 1-2. A one-game playoff to send the winner to the state championship game next Friday afternoon, May 29th. A 4 o'clock first pitch. Overturf stands back in. Mays back on the circle. Comes to the pitch, and the 1-2 is way outside for ball 2. 2-2. Melissa at 33-2. Aledo at 29-10. Big opportunity for the Lady Cats here in the bottom of the second inning. Nowhere to put her. And the 2-2 pitch to Overturf is swung on and golfed in the air to center field. On her horse is Young. She dives, makes the catch, but tagging and scoring from third is Martin. Moving to second base is Taloa, and a sacrifice fly by Kellen Overturf to center field cuts the lead to 1 at 3-2. First out of the inning, but Overturf does her job. She fell behind in the count, but was able to hit enough of it into center field where Young had to make a diving catch on it. And good base running by Taloa as she represents the tying run. Now she's only 60 feet away, advancing to third. Cardenas stays anchored at first base, and now that brings up Braylee Meyer. The senior with 10 home runs to lead this team, 27 RBIs, hitting at .372. Of course, you've heard the story about Braylee. Had 6 home runs in the regular season. She has 4 in this postseason. Would be a great time for number 11 for her season and number 5 of this postseason. But a solid single would tie things up, or a sacrifice fly. Corners are charging from first and third. The pitch hits it high in the air, center field, shallow. Young, tagging is Taloa. She bluffs down the line at third, and Meyer is out on a shallow fly ball to center field. Got under that one, and it was pretty easy for Young to camp under it and make the catch. So now 2 down. The runners remain at first and third. That brings up Delaney Rosser. Rosser got Aledo off to the right start in the bottom of the first inning with a solo home run that hit the scoreboard in left field. The pitch from Mays is taken outside for ball 1-0. Aledo put its first 3 batters of this inning on base. They've scored 1. Rosser ahead in the count early at 1-0. Eloisa Mays winds and comes home, and she throws it outside for ball 2-0 rather. Being very careful after what her short-term memory showed her on that blast to left field. Rosser, who signed with Stephen F. Austin down in Nacogdoches, she'll report there in August. Pitch is taken outside for ball 3-0, and this kind of has the feel of an intentional walk here. Doesn't want anything to do with her, perhaps, to maybe pitch to Tempe Perry here. Rosser, you would think, would be taking all the way, and she takes a strike over the inside corner. And it looked like Adrian and Mays were off on that because she was set up outside and the pitch tailed back over the inside of the plate. And Adrian had to reach back over and collect that. Ball 3 and strike 1 to Rosser, and it is taken low for ball 4. Second walk of this inning for Mays. The bases are loaded for the second time in this inning, and that brings up Tempe Perry, who was called out on strikes her first time. Taloa down the line at third. Cardenas moves over to second on the walk, and Rosser stands at first. 3-2 Melissa, bottom of the second, and the pitch is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. It just had that feel on that pitching sequence to Rosser that she was going to not give her anything to hit from Mays. 0-1 pitch to Perry. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, and it's quickly now at 0-2. So now Mays 1 pitch away from getting out of this. Aledo with a single run here, trying to get a crooked number in the bottom of the second inning in this state semifinal. Mays winds and brings it home 0-2, and it's way outside for ball 1-2. Kind of a waste pitch there to see if Perry would offer at it. Nowhere to put her. Kylie Pollock would love to get to the plate. If she does, that means Aledo would have either tied the game or taken the lead. Ball 1 and strike 2 to Tempe Perry. Mays brings it in, and the pitch is just outside for ball 2. 2-2. Mays looks into the plate umpire asking where the pitch was. I'm not sure if she got an explanation, but he pretty much said it's a ball. And now the umpires from Melissa not happy with that call. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out. The pitch is taken just outside for ball 3. 3-2. So now we have the merry-go-round. We have Taloa will be off at third. Cardenas will be off at second. Rosser will be off at first. Bases loaded. 2 out. 3-2 Melissa over Aledo here in the bottom of the second inning. Mays winds in the payoff pitch. Swung on and lined into right field. On her horse is Gonzalez, and she's there to make the catch, and the inning is over. But Aledo does continue to chip away and adds another run. A run, 2 hits, 3 left. We go to the third. New score. It is Melissa 3 and Aledo 2.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable. Peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Time
We're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here on NTXVarsitySports.com, we're brought to you by Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Want to thank Hiley Mazda for their support throughout the Aledo postseason for basketball, baseball, and softball. Top of the third inning, Tempe Perry pitches to Hutton Adrian, the catcher, and she bounces it in there for ball one, 1-0. Adrian reached on a fielder's choice back in that 3-run first inning. She hit that ground ball to Kylie Pollock at third, to Delaney Rosser, who threw to Kylie Pollock at third to get the runner, Braden Young, at the time. That was a big out. Momentum clearly with Aledo here right now, trailing 3-2. Pitches outside for ball 2, 2-0. Of course, they get the fly ball double play. Started by Kennedy Cardenas, and then Martin with the nice play in right field to end the threat, and then the Ladycats score run in the bottom of the second inning. That's where we are, 3-2. Pitch is in there on an off-speed pitch, and it's 2-1. Hutton Adrian followed by Kennedy Bradley, and then Izzy Gonzalez here, 3, 4, and 5 rather, for Melissa here in the top of the third inning. And the delivery. Swung on, hit high in the air to left field. Back is Cardenas. She has a play, and she puts it away. One down. Yeah, I could tell as soon as Adrian hit that ball, she didn't get all of it. It was a little bit maybe toward the inner half of her bat, and it was high enough for Cardenas to retreat on it and make a pretty routine catch on it. Now Kennedy Bradley, who walked and scored her first time up. Perry delivers, and it's taken low for ball 1 at 1-0. Bradley, who has signed with the University of Florida down in Gainesville. Several of these players going to Southeastern Conference teams. 1-0 pitch. It's taken low for ball 2, 2-0. And of course, I would be remiss without mentioning all of the Aledo players who have signed their letters of intent. Pitch is bouncing in for ball 2. I think it's 2-0. Of course, Braylee Meyer and Lily Heckathorn have signed with Brandeis. Jordan McClellan, who's not available to play because of her hand injury, she signed with McClellan Community College. 3-0 is the count, actually, and it's in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Kellen Overturf has signed with East Texas Baptist out of Marshall. Mentioned Delaney Rosser signed with Stephen F. Austin, and Kylie Pollock has signed with George Mason up in Virginia. 3-1 to Bradley. One out here, top of the third, and the pitch is just inside for ball 4, and Bradley leads, has a 1-out walk here. Second time she's drawn a walk. 3 walks issued by Perry here in this game. She's also hit a batter. This umpire strike zone is pretty tight. But to finish the thought on Aledo's next level of baseball, or softball rather, Riley Marks is committed to McNeese State in Thibodaux, Louisiana. And if you didn't hear, Kennedy Cardenas has committed to McMurray University out in Abilene. First pitch is taken for a ball to Izzy Gonzalez, 1-0. She flied to right her first time up. The pitch is taken just off the outside corner for ball 2, 2-0. Every out precious, every pitch precious, every run precious. That's what you get in a one-game playoff here. The deeper you go in the playoffs. 2-0 pitch from Perry is taken in there on the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Infield would love to turn a double play ball here. They're swung up the middle to do that with Wasser at short and Goodell at second. Aledo has already turned a double play in this game. 2 balls and a strike, and the pitch is swung and hit high in the air to shallow center field. On comes Overturf, and she makes a basket catch. She throws high to first, see if she can get the runner. That gets away, and that allows Bradley to go down to second base. Probably not the decision you want Overturf to make on that. In her haste to do well, see if she could get Bradley off the bag, but clearly Bradley was going to be back in time, but it got away from Taloa over her head. It hit the screen of the Aledo dugout, and when it kicked away, instead of coming right back to Taloa, that allowed Bradley to go to second base. So unfortunately, that's an error on the center fielder, Overturf. Now Shug Bradford, who doubled in 2 runs her first time up. She has the big hit for Melissa in this game. She takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Her double is the difference in this game to this point as we play here in the top of the 3rd inning. Melissa 3, Aledo 2. Perry winds and brings it in 0-1. She misses way outside for ball 1, 1-1. Now, not a lot of strikeouts in this state semifinal game. The pitchers have combined to walk 5. Only 1 strikeout, and that belongs to Mays. 1-1 pitch to Shug. Is it grounded to third? Nice play by Pollock. She throws to first in time, and the inning is over. Kylie Pollock, sure-handed at third base, looked that ball right into her glove, threw a strike to Taloa at first, and the inning is over. No runs, a walk, an error, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's still Melissa 3 and Aledo 2.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here at the Hiley Mazda broadcast table, Kevin Lonnquist to bring you the action here at this Class 5A Division I state semifinal. We have an update on that series between Barbers Hill and Leander. They're in the top of the 6th inning where Barbers Hill leads Leander by a score of 3-1. That's a best-of-3 series being played at Waller. 3, 4, and 5 for Aledo here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That's where they are in the order. And Kylie Pollock takes a strike to start things off. She flied to right her first time up. So again, 3-1 Barbers Hill leading Leander. They will play game 2. I think it's on Friday or maybe tomorrow, and then they have the day off. And if they go to a 3rd game, it would be on Saturday because of graduation. Pitches a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Pollock. No sunshine here in this ballpark here. The lights have not taken effect yet, but we are in that dusk part of the game. Clouds are off to our northwest. Pitch to Pollock is swung on and popped foul, and that's over the third base screen and into the stands, and it's a ball and 2 strikes to Pollock. He was ahead of that pitch. Liked it, just was a little bit too early on it. Pollock, Riley Marks, and then Kaylee Martin here for Aledo in its half of the 3rd inning. As we mentioned, Melissa has played 6 playoff games. They've run ruled everybody. Pitch is swung on and fouled away, and it remains 1-2. For Aledo, they've played 7 postseason games. They've won via the run rule in 4 of them. and all 4 of Aledo's run rule victories have come in clinching games. 2 of them one-game playoffs against Paschal in the area round, and of course last week in the regional finals against Abilene. Pitch is swung on and foul back to the screen, and Pollock is hanging in there, down in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pollock trying to get some of that moisture off her hand as she wipes it outside the batter's box. Now stands in there, down in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eloisa Mays rocks and brings it in. The pitch is swung on and hit high in the air to shallow left field. A trio of Cardinals converge on it, and it is Winter, the left fielder, who makes the catch, and Pollock is now 0 for 2. That'll bring up Riley Marks, who hit a line drive to center field. She hit it pretty hard back in the first inning, but it was right at Young, the center fielder. Wind in the first pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Martin waits next, and if one of these 2 can get on, Toloa comes in. A little soft line drive right back to May. She makes an easy catch, and that's out number 2. That's about as Chamber of Commerce as you'll get on that soft line drive right back to her. Now Kaylee. Now Martin, who walked and scored her first time up. She swings and hits it into shallow center field, but making the catch from second base on that play is Bradford, and the inning is over. So 1, 2, 3 go the Ladycats in their half of the 3rd inning. We go to the 4th. Still Melissa 3, Aledo 2.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Top of the 4th inning we go here from Denton High School. A 3-2 lead for Melissa over Aledo in this Class 5A Division I state semifinal. A 1-game playoff. The winner goes to the state championship game next Friday down in Austin. Perry back on the mound for another inning of work. She faces Anna Gonzalez and throws down low for ball 1-0. Gonzalez was a fly ball to center field out in the first inning. That ended that 3-run inning for Melissa, which has made those 3 runs stand up to this point. Perry comes in 1-0, and the pitch is pulled foul as that pitch was tailing in toward her hands, and Gonzalez all over it, but well early on it. Wind has started to pick up here now in Denton, and it's blowing out toward right field, probably in the 15-mile-an-hour range. 1-1 pitch on the way, and that's off speed and taken low for ball 2. 2-1. Brianna Wren waits next, and then Hattie Winter. The bottom 3 in the order here for Melissa. Perry brings in the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and pulled foul once again. She just did that with her a couple pitches ago where she jammed her inside, and Gonzalez was all over, but way too early on it. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Perry quickly back on the circle, twitching that ball in her right hand like she always does as part of her routine. Has what she wants from Meyer and brings it in. Pitch is swung on and grounded foul up along third and down the line. Kind of came back to the same pitch, took a little bit off of that one. But still kind of the same result as Gonzalez was well out in front of it. Perry goes into her motion, and the pitch is taken in there for strike three called. First strikeout of the night for Tempe Perry. And that's the way the fourth inning begins here for Melissa. Hey fans, don't miss the final UIL state event as far as softball is concerned. That is the 2026 State Softball Championships. They are taking place May 28th through the 30th down at Red and Charlene McCombs Field on the University of Texas campus. For schedule, spectator, and ticket information, please visit uiltexas.org/softball. Again, that's uiltexas.org/softball. Rihanna Wren steps into the plate. She takes a ball, 1-0. Wren walked and was cut down at third at that double play ball in the second inning. Perry throws high for ball 2-0, and I think that slipped out of her hand there, and so a quick discussion with her and Braylee Meyer. Two balls, no strikes here as we play the top of the fourth inning in this Class 5A Division I state semifinal. We should tell you, by the way, that Barbers Hill has added to that leading game one of that other semifinal series, leading Leander now 5-1. Pitches over the inside corner for strike one, 2-1. That game is still in the top of the sixth inning. Perry rocks, and the 2-1 pitch coming. And that is in there for strike two, 2-2. Breaking ball on that one. Wren, who walked her first time up. One of three walks that Perry has issued, but now she's kind of getting into a rhythm here. At least you hope that she's starting to get into a rhythm. The pitch is taken way outside for ball 3-2. Don't want to do that announcer's jinx like I did earlier, or last week out in Abilene, or out in Graham rather, when I said there was no area to throw a wild pitch, and then it kicks away from the catcher for a run to score. Payoff pitch is swung on and missed on a changeup, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Tempe Perry, and that's out number two. Boy, she really took something off that pitch, and Wren was way out in front of it. And Perry now finding her groove. She's retired 7 of the last 8 batters she's faced. Now Hattie Winter, the left fielder. The pitch taken, and it hit her. Well, there goes that. And announcer's curse strikes again. Second batter that Perry has hit. She hit who's coming to the plate now, Finley Williams, who comes to the plate. Williams was hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. Then she flied into that double play that Kennedy Cardenas started back in the second inning. Calling time is Williams. Wind is really starting to pick up here now. Pitch is taken outside for ball 1-0. And the clouds are starting to move in as well here. We have heavy rains in the forecast for tomorrow. Think we'll be okay to get this one in, but you obviously don't want to take any chances. Ball 1 and no strikes to Williams here. Runner at first, 2 out. 3-2, Melissa leads. Pitch is in there for a strike, and it's now a ball and a strike. Williams, right-handed batter, in the pitch. Swung on and grounded in the hole and into left field. That's a base hit. Right between Pollock and Rosser. Second time that Williams has reached. Down to second base goes Winter. So that brings up Braden Young, the center fielder, who singled. And stole a base. Looking at the radar here, not seeing anything on the as an issue here. just got some dark clouds moving in. Lights have not taken effect yet. A swung on and ground ball to short. Rosser fields cleanly, throws to first, and the inning is over. Delaney Rosser cool as a cucumber with the 6-3 putout, and the inning is over. No runs, a walk, a hit batter, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still Melissa 3 and Aledo 2.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
NTX Varsity Sports.com coverage of Aledo playoff softball is brought to you by Hiley Mazda. We're here at the Hiley Mazda broadcast table right behind home plate here on the campus of Denton High School. Kevin Lonnquist and my producer engineer Brody Gates alongside. We play in the bottom of the 4th inning in this Class 5A Division I state semifinal game. Brooklyn Taloa hits the first pitch into center field, but right at Braden Young, who picks it off for the out. Taloa hit it hard, but she is the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning for the Ladycats. Taloa had singled her first time up. That was part of that second inning where the Ladycats created a run. Mays has, though, retired the last 7 she has faced. Here's Kennedy Cardenas, and she takes inside for ball 1-0. Yeah, ever since Mays gave up the walk and then back-to-back base hits in the second inning, she got out of the scoring fly ball, and then actually she did have a walk to reload the bases to Delaney Rosser, so I take that back. But she has kind of gotten into a rhythm here where she has actually retired the last 5. But she throws ball 2 to Kennedy Cardenas, the designated player. Pitch is swung on and missed. Pitch at her shoulders, and Cardenas couldn't lay off that, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Kellen Overturf waits next. Cardenas, the junior, stands in the batter's box. The left fielder takes in there for strike 2, 2-2. Six, 7, and 8 here for Aledo in its half of the 4th team. The Ladycats are the home team in this game. The pitch is swung on and foul back to the backstop here as Cardenas just barely got a piece of that to stay alive. To keep the count at 2-2. Mays working quickly in the pitch. Swung on and hit foul off to the right and out of play. Well over the right field stands over on the right side of this nice ballpark here. Again, 205 down the lines. They don't have distances on the alleys, but 215 to dead center. 2-2 pitch, and it's a swung on and a chopper hit to third. Bradley has it on to first for the easy out, and that's 2 down here in the Aledo 4th inning. 3-2 Melissa leads. Now Kellen Overturf, who hit a scoring fly ball back in the second inning. That scored Kaylee Martin. Again, Overturf, pretty much in a lot of these games that Aledo has played in these playoffs and probably throughout the course of the regular season, she's like the lone wolf. She's the lone left-handed batter amongst a sea of right-handed batters. She takes a strike over the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Overturf with that scoring fly ball was her 14th RBI of the year. She swings and grounds it up the middle and into center field for a base hit. So Kellen Overturf takes it right back where it was pitched. And the senior is aboard with a 2-out single. That is hit number 4 for the Ladycats. So we go to the bottom of the order here, but the slugger, Braley Meyer, the catcher with the team-leading 10 home runs. Aledo's RBIs in this game were Delaney Rosser's leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning. And then the sacrifice fly by Kellen Overturf. Now Braley Meyer, who flied to center her first time up. She swings and hits it high in the air to deep center field. Away back, and it is out of here. Braley Meyer will take the tour. And Aledo has the lead. It's 4-3. 2-out damage for the Ladycats. On the 2-run shot for Braley Meyer, her 11th of the year. RBIs 28-29. Go back to that pitch that Kellen Overturf fouled off. Now we go to the top of the order here in Delaney Rosser. She takes a strike and it's 0-1. Rosser has been on base both times here. Homer to left and then drew a walk in the second inning. Mays a little bit unnerved by that as that bomb went over the center field fence to the left of the flagpole, which is positioned in dead center field. 4-3 Aledo. The pitch is taken high for ball 1, 1-1. A lot of silence over on the third base side of this ballpark here. But Aledo has the lead. Pitch to Rosser, swung on and fouled down the right side, and that's going to go out of play. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Tempe Perry waits next. She is the beneficiary of this lead. Second home run in this game for the Ladycats to take a 4-3 lead. They said they weren't going to be intimidated by Melissa's mystique, and they haven't to this point. Pitch is swung on and grounded toward third, but is through the glove of Bradley. The throw from first is high as Williams was backing up on it. Rosser stays at first base on an error. Bradley just whiffed on that. It went under her glove. Williams tried to save it, and then she threw high to first. And so this 2-out rally for Aledo continues. Now Tempe Perry. Perry 0 for 2, called out on strikes in the first inning, fly to right in the second. The pitch is taken over the outside corner for strike 1, 0-1. Bottom of the 4th inning, Aledo 4, Melissa 3. The pitch is taken on the outside corner for strike 2, and it's 0-2. Going back to Meyer's home run, the wind really didn't have a lot to do with it. She just got it. That wind is pushing it to the right, but she smoked it. Pitch is taken just outside for ball 1, 1-2 by Tempe Perry. Brand new game. Aledo has rallied from a 3-run deficit and has scored the last 4. 1-2 to Perry, and Mays' pitch, she swings and just got a piece of it at the plate. Did Perry to keep the at-bat alive. It remains 1-2. Rosser on at first. Five hits for the Ladycats, 2 have left the ballpark. The delivery at 1-2, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the inning is over. Second time Perry has gone down on strikes this afternoon, but she does have the lead when she goes back to the circle. 2 runs, 2 hits. There was an error, but Braley Meyer's 2-run shot in this inning has given Aledo a 4-3 lead as we go to the 5th.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Aledo 4, Melissa 3 as we play the top of the 5th inning here at Denton High School. Thanks to a 2-run shot from Rayleigh Meyer, her 11th of the year. Now Tempe Perry working with this lead. She'll face Hutton Adrian, Kennedy Bradley, and Izzy Gonzalez. The number 3, 4, and 5 batters in this Melissa lineup. She throws strike 1, and it's 0-1 to Adrian. 0 for 2, she reached on a fielder's choice on a play that was where the runner was cut down at the plate, or third rather, and then fly to left. Back in the third rather. Pitches outside for ball 1, 1-1. With the 2 home runs that the Ladycats have hit, they are now up to 51. And remember, Melissa's the home run team. They have 98 for the season coming into this game. Perry rocks in the 1-1 pitch to Hutton Adrian on the way. And it's in there for strike 2, 1-2. Should point out, too, that both of these teams are pretty young. A lot of underclassmen in both of these starting lineups. One and 2 to Hutton Adrian. Perry rocks and brings it, and she misses way outside for ball 2, 2-2. Perry with a pair of strikeouts back in the 4th inning. Those are her first 2 of the game. She has walked 3 and hit 2 batters. She winds and comes home 2-2 to Adrian. And that's way outside on an off-speed pitch, and it's now full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wanting to stay away from Adrian, of course. Adrian has 18 home runs, so she's one of the power sources in this lineup for Melissa. 4-3 Aledo leads. Perry winds, and the payoff. Swung on and grounded up the middle, and it's through and into center field for a base hit. Nice job by Hutton Adrian to get that count full, and it was just beyond the reach of Rosser. Delaney just really couldn't get to it in time as it was hit pretty hard. So the tying run is at first base for Melissa, and that brings up Kennedy Bradley, the third baseman. She has walked both times she's come to the plate in this game. Aledo would love to see if it could turn its second double play of this game here in the top of the 5th inning. Ladycats 4, Lady Cardinals 3. The pitch. And that's taken just a little bit high and wide for ball 1, 1-0. And now time called as Meyer wants to go out to have a word with her starting pitcher. Perry puts the glove to her mouth to make sure that if anyone has really accomplished in lip reading, don't give him any reason to try and decipher anything. 1 ball and no strikes to Bradley. The wind really starting to whip now out of the northwest. And the 1-0 pitch coming is over the inside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. She went off speed and was able to get that in there, and it's a ball and a strike. Obviously, the Ladycats who have this lead need to play with some composure, just act like it's as routine as they possibly can, even though the stakes have never been higher. 1-1 pitch to Bradley from Perry, and it's in there, but low for ball 2, 2-1. Boy, the umpire had a notion on that, but decided to back off of it. He does have a tight strike zone tonight. Hutton Adrian at first. She's being run for with a courtesy runner there at first. Perry rocks in the 2-1. It's way outside for ball 3-1. And now she's got a problem here. And now time called is Kylie Pollock. It takes a few moments over there to walk over to her sophomore right-hander, say something of an encouraging tone. Perry waits, now back on the circle, on the rubber, and delivers the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and pulled into left field, but right at Cardenas, who makes the catch for the out. She went to her knees to make that catch, did Cardenas, and that's out number 1. It was a sinking line drive. Perhaps the wind kind of knocked that down a little bit, but Cardenas was able to stay with it and glove it toward the foul line for out number 1. Now Izzy Gonzalez, who's hit a pair of fly balls tonight, 1 to right, 1 to center. She's 0 for 2. And now time called as Gonzalez will step out of the batter's box. The courtesy runner, by the way, for Melissa is Riley Fagan. She did that. She has done that earlier for when Adrian reached first in the first inning. Pitch is taken outside for ball 1-0. Meyer looks back to the plate umpire, asking him about location. Has a little more for that plate umpire. Nothing wrong with that. Got to lobby for your pitcher a little bit, kind of work the umpire, see if you can get that call. 1-0 from Perry to Gonzalez. Aledo leads 4-3, top of the 5th. The pitch is taken a strike over the inside corner, and it's 1-1. And that's been a pitch that plate umpire has been giving for most of this game. He has been pretty consistent. It's just a tight zone. Ball 1 and strike 1 as the wind starts to pick up here. Again, I just checked the radar a little while ago as we are deep in an overcast, but nothing on the radar in terms of precipitation. The pitch is taken up and in for ball 2-1. And should point out, by the way, they do appeal to first, and the first base umpire says no. But should point out, too, that this is an all-field turf surface. So even if there was any kind of precipitation, this field would drain pretty quickly. And, of course, everything painted in brown on the infield between the circle, the bases, and the home plate area. 2-1 pitch is taken outside for a strike. 2-2. Late call there from the plate umpire. It's kind of like what we've seen from these umpires in the postseason where you can see them kind of grunt when they make that call, but then they'll signal their call here a few moments later. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Izzy Gonzalez. Shug Bradford waits next. 2-2 pitch, and it's way outside. I think that slipped out of her hand, and we're full once again. There have been several full counts that Tempe Perry has dealt with in this game. Gonzalez goes to a knee to kind of collect herself, drags her hand on that surface to kind of get that moisture off. Perry rocks, and the payoff pitch. Swung on in line on a hot, caught by Rosser. She'll go to first for the double play. The umpires at first base said that Rosser correctly caught the line drive at her shoe tops through to first to double off Hutton at first base, and the inning is over. Second double play that the Ladycats have turned in this game. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Aledo 4 and Melissa 3.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Bottom of the fifth here in Denton in this Class 5A Division I state semifinal. Aledo 4, Melissa 3. And to follow up on that double play ball that Delaney Rosser completed to first base to Brooklyn Taloa, where she caught it at her shoe top, cleanly caught it before it took a bounce, and then doubled off the runner at first base. Melissa head coach Cassie Crabtree had a discussion with the plate umpires asking them to talk about it, but they assured her that Rosser cleanly caught that. Kylie Pollock leads things off here for Aledo here in the bottom of the fifth inning. She takes a strike and it's 0-1. Mays comes back and the pitch is swung on the line right to the third baseman Bradley. And Pollock is now 0 for 3. She flied to right and flied to left her first time up. She hit it hard, but right at Adam, as they say. Now Riley Marks, who's 0 for 2. She lined to center field and hit a soft line drive back to Mays. Back in the third inning. Right-handed hitter, no gloves either. And it's taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Lights are now starting to take effect just a bit here as we play in the bottom of the fifth. Swinging bunt down the third baseline, grabbed by Bradley. She'll throw to first, and a nice scoop by Gonzalez there to record the out. That's a heck of a play there by Gonzalez, the first baseman. Izzy just scooped that throw from Kennedy Bradley, and it's a 5-3 put out there as Riley Marks is now 0 for 3. Picking it, as they say. Heather Myers wanting to say if that ball was foul before it got to the third base bag, but it was picked up by Bradley, so it was a fair ball one way or the other. Now Kaylee Martin, who walked and scored in the second inning and popped to second her first time up, or second time up rather. She's 0 for 1, and she takes outside and high for ball 1, 1-1. Four 4-3 Aledo, bottom of the fifth inning here in Denton. In this one-game playoff, the winner goes to the state championship next Friday in Austin. Mays comes back, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Two down here, bottom of the fifth inning. An 0-1 count to Kaylee Martin. Mays back up on the rubber, winds and brings it in 0-1, and it's swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. She went away with her on that, and Martin was way out in front. Wind in the pitch, and it's over the outside corner. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Ladycats go 1 through 3 here in the fifth inning. We go to the top of the sixth inning. Here in Denton, it is Aledo 4 and Melissa 3.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Kevin Longquist here at the Hiley Mazda broadcast table, along with my producer engineer Brody Gates. And when we were preparing in the 5 o'clock hour for this broadcast, we were feeling a little bit peaked with the heat that was bearing down on us. But since then, we've probably dropped by about a good 15 degrees here in Denton in this Class 5A Division I state semifinal game. Region 1 winner Aledo leading Region 2 winner Melissa by a score of 4-3. Tempe Perry, the beneficiary of a double play ball in the fifth inning, faces 6, 7, and 8 for Melissa here. Shug Bradford, the 2-run double back in the first inning as part of that 3-run first for Melissa. She's also grounded in third her last time up. Pitch is taken outside for ball 1, 1-0. Well, you can tell what Perry's been doing. She's not pitching to their strengths, but she's going in and out, up and down. Some balls have been hit hard, some haven't. She winds and brings it in 1-0, and it's outside for ball 2, 2-0. I would have to say, without checking first ball counts, but she's probably thrown ball one more than strike one to all the batters that she's faced. But she's kept her team in the game, and that's all you ask from your starting pitcher. Perry down in the count, 2-0, has to throw a strike, and she does, and it's 2-1. Anna Gonzalez, the number 7 hitter, the right fielder, waits next, and then Rihanna Rinn, the designated player in the 8-hole after that. And if anybody gets on, the number 9 hitter, Hattie Winter. 4-3 Aledo, top of the 6th inning here in Denton. Perry brings it in at 2-1. The pitch is hit high in the air, deep center field, and all Overturf can do is watch it fly, and we are tied at 4. That was a no-doubter off the bat of Shug Bradford, her 12th home run of the year. She has 3 RBIs in this game to give her 33. She's driven in 3 of the 4 runs, and we start over tied at 4. No doubt on that one. So now Anna Gonzalez here. And now you have to pretend like it's just 0-0, even game. And the pitch is taken over but low for ball 1, 1-0. And now time called as Taloa wants to come in there and say something to Perry, who a little frustrated with herself giving up that home run. But hey, this is a team that has hit nearly 100 home runs this year. They're at 99 following that blast off the bat of Bradford. 1-0 pitch to Gonzalez coming, and here it is, and it is taken low for ball 2, 2-0. And just like she was to Bradford a moment ago, she's now 2-0 to Gonzalez is Perry. Now the thing is, you got to make sure you keep this thing tied. Tied at 4, top of the 6th. Melissa has just evened things up. And the pitch hits Gonzalez on the arm, and she will trot down to first base. 3rd batter of the game that Perry has hit. Still nobody out. And now the number 8 hitter, Rihanna Rinn, comes to the plate. It's just a good, hard-played softball game between 2 really good programs. And you look at Aledo's record at 29-10. They took a lot of their lumps in the tournament season, but they obviously got a lot better as the season went along, like they always do. Pitch is taken ball down for ball 1, 1-0 to Rihanna Rinn. Rinn has walked and struck out in her 2 plate appearances. Hattie Winter waits next. Runner at first, tie game here, top of the 6th, and the pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. She went breaking ball, did Perry, and she got the strike. Double play is still in order here. Perry winds and brings it in 1-1, and waving at it and missing it is Rinn, and it's now 1-2. Tempe, Perry with the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on an off-speed pitch. And down goes Rinn for the 2nd time. 3rd strikeout for Perry, and there's 2 down with Hattie Winter coming up. Check that, 1 down, I beg your pardon. Winter has been on base both times. She singled back in the 2nd and then was hit by a pitch in the 4th. The pitch is taken off the outside corner for ball 1, 1-0. A leadoff home run by Shug Bradford here in the top of the 6th inning for Melissa has tied this game at 4. That cleared the left center field wall by plenty. Perry winds in the 1-0 pitch, and that's over but inside and low for ball 2, 2-0. 3rd time in the last 4 batters where Perry has begun a sequence at 2-0. But But you got to get the number 9 hitter, and that's been a issue for Tempe this evening here in Denton. 2-0 pitch coming, and that's taken high for ball 3, 3-0. She threw a let-up pitch on that, and I think she was hoping for it to bend quicker and earlier than it did, but it stayed up. So now count leverage for Winter. She's ahead at 3-0. I would think she's taking here at 3-0 with the runner at first in Anna Gonzalez. And the delivery at 3-0, and that's outside for ball 4. So now Melissa has a rally going here. Runners at first and second, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Fourth walk issued by Perry. Again, she's hit 3 batters. She's allowed 6 hits. So there's been plenty of traffic. And now time called as Heather Myers, the Aledo head coach, wants to come out and have a discussion with her sophomore right-hander, with the leadoff hitter, Finley Williams, coming to the bat. And that gives us an opportunity to tell you that NTXVarsitySports.com has coverage of the baseball team playing tomorrow afternoon in the Class 5A Division I Region I championship game against El Paso Americas. 11:45 is the pregame show. First pitch is at noon. Hunter Parker Burros will have that for you. Once they finish game 1, they'll have about a 30-minute break, and then they'll bring game 2. If those teams split, no game on Friday because of Aledo's graduation, they would all have to come back on Saturday afternoon for a 2 o'clock first pitch. And I can tell you that neither team wants to do that. There will be a great incentive for both sides to get this thing over with on Thursday. Aledo coming into that game at 34-3. El Paso Americas at 30-11. Conference is over here by Heather Myers. She returns to the dugout. Tempe Perry in a jam. First and second, 1 out. Finley Williams, the leadoff hitter, has been on base twice. First pitch is just missing for ball 1, 1-0. Williams was hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. Fly to left into that double play that Aledo turned in the second, and then singled her last time up in the fourth. Go-ahead run is in scoring position for Melissa here in a game tied at 4. The pitch, and that's bouncing in for ball 2, 2-0. Another sequence where Perry has fallen behind at 2-0. Braden Young, the center fielder, waits next. And the delivery is skipping in there for ball 3, 3-0. And Perry 1 pitch away from loading the bases here. That home run for Melissa from Bradford really charged that dugout here. They clearly now have the momentum. Perry has to throw a strike at 3-0, and she does at 3-1. Taking all the way was Finley Williams because those first 3 pitches did miss. The last 2 badly. But now at 3-1, still with count leverage, is Finley Williams with a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. And the 3-1 is bouncing in there and low for ball 4. And now the bases are loaded for Melissa here in the 6th inning. Back-to-back walks issued by Tempe Perry, her 5th of the game. Gonzalez goes over to third. Winter goes down to second base. And now Braden Young a chance to break this game open and give Melissa the lead. Infield is playing in here for Aledo to try and cut off the run at the plate if it's hit right at somebody. And the pitch to Young is taken low for ball 1, 1-0. And now time called as Perry wants to have a discussion with Braylee Meyer. Perry just fighting it here with her command. She just has kind of lost the strike zone here where she's walked the last 2 and hit a batter. She has gotten a strikeout. There is 1 out in the inning. You would love a quick double play to get out of it if you can. In a world of trouble is Tempe Perry here in the game tied at 4. Bases loaded for Melissa. She has to throw a strike at 3-0. She delivers it, and it is in there for 3-1. Big pitch there by Tempe Perry, but Young still has count leverage. Hutton Adrian, the catcher, waits next. The winner moves on to the state championship game next Friday afternoon down in Austin. Perry with the 3-1 pitch, and it's swung on in line, foul down the right field line, and now we are full at 3-2. Kind of an inside-out swing there from Young. Good idea. She was trying to push that ball to right field, but well fouled. So now ball 3 and strike 2 to Braden Young. Quick discussions from Kylie Pollock and then Delaney Rosser. Again, nowhere to put it. Put Young, bases loaded for Melissa. Payoff pitch from Tempe Perry. Here it is, and it's in there for strike 3 called. Second out of the inning, and Young is called out on strikes. 4th strikeout of the game for Tempe Perry. And she can breathe a sigh of relief for just a moment. Not out of this jam yet. Hutton Adrian is at the plate. She's 1 for 3 with a single. And the pitch is taken over but low, 1-0. Credit Tempe Perry. She's been all over the strike zone in this inning, but she gets the big strike 3 called when she needed it just a few moments ago. 1-0 to Hutton Adrian. Again, the bases loaded for Melissa here in the top of the 6th of this 4-4 tie. Perry winds in the 1-0 pitch, and that's skipping in there for ball 2, 2-0. Once again, another 2-0 count for Tempe Perry. And both sides tense with every pitch. We're getting late in the game, folks. We're in the 6th. Perry rocks, and the 2-0 pitch is high for ball 3, 3-0. That plate umpire looked that in, but he's called that pitch a ball for pretty much most of the night. Melissa fans okay with it. Aledo fans not okay with it. Adrian ahead in the count at 3-0. Perry has to throw a strike, and she does at 3-1. Taking again was Hutton Adrian, so the count now at 3-1. High drama here in Denton County in this state semifinal. 4-4 tie, bases loaded for Melissa. Perry nervously twitching that ball in her right hand as Adrian steps out, now gets back into the batter's box. 3 balls and 1 strike. 4-4 tie. Perry rocks, and the 3-1 pitch coming is swung on and grounded up the middle. Glove by Rosser, wins the race to the bag to the second base bag, and the inning is over to keep us tied at 4. Heck of a play there by Delaney Rosser. She wins the race to the bag at second, and Melissa leaves them loaded. But we are tied thanks to the leadoff home run from Shug Bradford. We got some really great drama here in Denton County. Tied at 4 going to the bottom of the 6th.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Well, I'm pretty convinced that Tempe Perry just loves the flair for drama here. She had the bases loaded with 1 out, and she was facing the 2 and 3 batters in Melissa's lineup between Braden Young and Hutton Adrian, and she got out of that mess. 2 fine defensive plays by Delaney Rosser, got Aledo out of the 5th and then out of the 6th, and we stay tied at 4. And the pitch to Brooklyn Toloa is hit high in the air to deep left center field, and it is gone. First pitch of the inning, and Brooklyn Toloa takes the tour, and Aledo has regained the lead at 5-4. For Toloa, her 7th home run, RBI number 33 on the year, Aledo's 3rd home run of the game. Here's Kennedy Cardenas, who takes high for ball 1, 1-0. Cardenas is 1 for 2. She had a single back in the 2nd, and then a ground ball to 3rd. That home run that Toloa hit pretty much in the same spot where Shug Bradford hit it for Melissa in the top half of this inning. Pitch is taken for a strike, and it's 1-1. Toloa out of the number 6 spot. She's now 2 for 3 in this game. Kellen Overturf waits next, and the pitch. Swung on and fouled at the plate. Seventh hit for Aledo in this ball game. 3 have left the ballpark. That's the surprising stat of this game. They have out-homered Melissa in this game 3-1. 1-2, and the pitch is taken outside for ball 2, 2-2. Thank you. My wallet fell out of my back pocket here, so fan kind enough to hand it back to me, so thank you for that. Pitch is swung and unlined into center field. That's a base hit off the bat of Kennedy Cardenas, and Aledo has its 8th base hit of the game. Cardenas with her 2nd. And now a chance to try and add to this lead, which Aledo has just regained at 5-4. Now Kellen Overturf, who has one of those hits. She singled and scored off the Meyer home run back in the 4th. 5-4, Aledo leads bottom of the 6th. Pitch to the left-handed hitting Overturf is taken over but low and inside for ball 1, 1-0. A leadoff home run by Brooklyn Toloa here to start the 6th has given Aledo a 5-4 lead. Cardenas with a single up the middle to center field. She stands at first base. It is the bottom part of this Aledo lineup doing the damage. Overturf waits, and she takes outside for ball 2. Actually, it's called the late strike call. Boy, Hutton Adrian had me fooled. She moved to the outside, thinking that it was going to be outside, but the umpire stayed with the pitch and called it a strike. So it's 1-1 to Overturf. Overturf takes strike 2 over the outside corner, and it's 1-2. She had a scoring fly ball back in the 2nd inning when Aledo loaded the bases. That drove in their 2nd run. And of course, she, as I mentioned a moment ago, singled and then scored off the Meyer home run. And Meyer waits next. The pitch, and it's taken high for ball 2, 2-2. Nobody out, a runner at first in this Class 5A Division I state semifinal game. This is the first time in this postseason that Melissa has not been involved in a run rule game. 2-2 pitch, and it's swung on and grounded in the hole and into left field, a base hit. Stopping at second base is Kennedy Cardenas, and a great job by Overturf to just slap that ball between short and third and into left field for a base hit. Her 2nd base hit of the night. Overturf with her 2nd, as I mentioned, 9th base hit for the Ladycats, and now Braylee Meyer. Fly ball to center field her first time up, and then the 2-run bomb, which gave Aledo a 4-3 lead back in the 4th. A chance to add to this 5-4 lead, and Meyer takes outside for ball 1, 1-0. Aledo with 3 home runs in this game, 52 for the season. Mays winds and brings it in. The pitch is swung on and hit down the right field line. Having to play in foul territory and making the catch is Gonzalez. Tagging and going to third is Cardenas. And so A productive out for Braylee Meyer at the very least, because she advances the lead runner to third base. That's the first out of the inning, and that brings up Delaney Rosser. Did her job, did Braylee Meyer. Cardenas down the line at third, over to at first. 5-4 Aledo leads. Rosser waits. Here's the pitch from Mays, and it's taken for a strike over the outside corner. For Rosser tonight, she is technically 1 for 2, but she's been on base all 3 times. Homer to lead off the bottom of the first for the Ladycats, drew a walk in the second, and then reached on an error back in the fourth. Right-handed batter stares into Mays and waits the 1-strike pitch, and it's taken outside for ball 1, 1-1. Well, this is what state semifinal games are supposed to be. You have to fight for it. Nothing's going to be given to you. It's a matter of capitalizing on your opportunities. 1-1 pitch to Rosser. Swung on and grounded foul up along third and down the line. And Cardenas had a tightrope that one as she had a hop over that ball as it scooted by her, but well foul. So it's a ball and 2 strikes to Rosser. Tempe Perry waits next. 1 out here, bottom of the 6th inning. Aledo 5, Melissa 4. Happy that you're with us here on NTX Varsity Sports.com. And the pitch is taken outside for ball 2, 2-2. And as always, we're brought to you by Hiley Mazda. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, who also sponsors the Aledo Coaches Show podcast, which will be broadcasting this coming Tuesday. Not Monday because of Memorial Day, Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. 2-2 pitch to Rosser, and it's outside for ball 3, 3-2. She went off speed, did Mays, and Rosser wouldn't bite. Outfield is pretty much straight away for Rosser. Corners are playing tight to anticipate the double play. The pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Going down to second base and stealing it is Overturf. And Rosser is down on strikes. Swung through a fastball. Pretty good pitch there by Eloisa Mays, and that's out number 2. So now the Ladycats have runners at first and second with Tempe Perry. Had a tough night at the plate. She has struck out twice and then fly to right. But a chance to help herself here. She did last week, and she takes outside for ball 1, 1-0. Eloisa Mays has given up 9 hits and 3 home runs, arguably one of her toughest outings of the season. Pitching to her opposite number, Tempe Perry. 1-0 pitch is taken outside for ball 2, 2-0. If Perry can reach base, Kylie Pollock would come to the plate. 2-0 to Tempe Perry. Runners at second and third for Aledo here, top of the 6th, where the Ladycats have regained the lead on a Brooklyn Toloa solo home run to lead off this inning. Pitch is swung on and inside and out down the first baseline, but well foul, and it's 2-1. Got the idea there from Tempe Perry where she was trying to just push that ball to the right side. But better pitch execution there by Mays as she got in on her hands. So 2 balls and a strike to Tempe Perry here. Eloisa Mays, 30-2 record this year, and she brings it in. The pitch is swung on and grounded easily to first base. That's picked by Gonzalez, and she'll walk it over to first base, and the inning is over. Ladycats leave 2, but they do have the lead, and now Aledo 3 outs away from trying to get to the state championship. We'll see how they do it. We go to the 7th inning. It is Aledo 5 and Melissa 4.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
These are the toughest outs in Aledo's season to record. They lead 5-4 as we play in the top of the 7th in this Class 5A Division I state semifinal game. Tempe Perry facing the heart of the Melissa order. Kennedy Bradley, Izzy Gonzalez, Shug Bradford here. 4, 5, and 6. Aledo leads 5-4, and Perry throws just high for ball 1, 1-0 to Bradley, who's reached base twice this evening with a pair of walks, and she's also flied to left. Tension on both sides of this stadium here in Denton High School. Pitch is way outside for ball 2, 2-0. Lots of Aledo young fans sitting down in Indian style along the pavement here in front of the Aledo stands, which occupies the first base side. 2-0 count to Kennedy Bradley. Perry's pitch is taken over but low for ball 3, 3-0. And just like she messed around in the 6th inning, Perry has fallen behind here. And you can obviously see what Melissa's been doing here. They're going to wait her out and make her throw strikes. It's been a challenge for Tempe. She has to throw a strike here at 3-0, and she does at 3-1. I guess that's all she needs to do is fall behind 3-0 and then throw strike 1. It's probably not the way you want to do it, but she does throw a strike, and it's 3-1. Izzy Gonzalez waits next. Bradley has scored a run tonight, part of that 3-run first inning for Melissa. 5-4 Aledo leads, top of the 7th. The pitch is in there for strike 2, 3-2. Bradley for the year, the second leading home run hitter for this team with 21. She has 67 RBIs. That puts her third on this team. One swing of the bat ties it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Perry brings it in. The pitch is swung on and pulled foul up along third and down the line. And Melissa, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, has lost a total of 5 games. 38-1 last year when they won it. 38-2 and 1 in 2024 when they won it. They went 25-9 and 1 in the regional semifinals in 2023. 29 and 7 in 2022, and then 24 and 2 in 2021. Ball 3 and strike 2 to Kennedy Bradley here, top of the 7th inning. Bradley rocks and brings it in, and the pitch is swung on and bounced foul up along third, and we'll do it again at 3-2. 5-4, the Ladycats lead. If they can hang on to this, they would be playing in Austin next Friday at 4 o'clock against either Barbers Hill or Leander. Perry with the ball on her right hip. Comes to her motion, and the payoff pitch. Swung on and hit foul off the screen on the right side, and it remains full at 3-2. These two met last year when Melissa won convincingly 15-4. Aledo says they have learned the lessons of that. Don't fear this team. They played like it. Payoff pitch from Perry on the way. And it swung on. Meyer digging for it, and she's got it in foul territory. Bradley fouls out to Braylee Meyer, who had to dig for it. It wasn't hit very high, but Braylee was able to react quickly and make the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. Now Izzy Gonzalez. She represents the tying run. Gonzalez 0 for 3 tonight. Fly to right, fly to center, line to short. 2 outs away. Perry twitching, rocks, and the first pitch on the way is skipping in there for ball 1, 1-0. Top of the 7th inning, Aledo 5 and Melissa 4. Now a quick word as Meyer jumps up from behind the plate to go say something to Perry on that. Perry coming into this game at 14-4 with an ERA of 2.01. 1-0 count to Izzy Gonzalez. Perry winds, brings it home, and it's bouncing in there for ball 2, 2-0. Well, that's nothing new. Not that you want to say that it's old hat, because that's not the way to live. Gonzalez does the sign of the cross as she steps back in the batter's box. 2-0 count from Tempe Perry to Gonzalez. The junior first baseman waits, and the pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1, 2-1. Outfield playing straight away. The Owlies are they're pretty much playing no doubles defense in left and right field down the line. 2-1 pitch is outside for ball 3, 3-1. And the umpires in the Aledo fan section not happy with that call, but you just got to move on to the next pitch, and that's something that Heather Myers and every member on this Aledo team has said when something works against you. Ball 3 and strike 1 to Izzy Gonzalez, trying to get aboard. The pitch is bouncing in there. Actually, no, it's in there for strike 2. I beg your pardon. Late call there by the plate umpire. I beg your pardon on that. And so we are full once again. Shug Bradford waits next. Gonzalez comes to the plate. Looks at her bat. Takes a halfway behind her head. Swings it, now gets into the box. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Perry delivers it, and the pitch is fouled off to the right, now to play, and we'll do it again at 3-2. This is kind of like when I called the state semifinal football game. That's not the finish that we were looking for, but it's actually easier to call it when you get to these tension-filled moments here, rather than sit on your hands and just live and die on every pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Perry into her motion and brings off the payoff. And it's swung on and a comebacker to Perry. She'll throw to Taloa at first. 2 down here in the 7th inning. 1 out away. Aledo 5, Melissa 4, top of the 7th here in Denton. Shug Bradford comes to the plate. She's 2 for 3. She's been the big difference maker in this lineup for Melissa this afternoon. Now time called as Heather Myers, the head coach, comes out to have a word with her battery of Perry and Meyer. Pretty good idea there, since Bradford is the one that's hurt Aledo in this game. She has driven in 3 of the 4 runs in this ball game. The 2-run double back in the 1st inning, and then the solo home run to lead off the bottom of the 6th for Aledo. She's the one who stands between Aledo and a trip to Austin next Friday. Conference is over. Myers returns to the dugout. Meyer behind the plate. Perry back on the circle. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter. Perry rocks in the pitch to Bradford. Swung on and grounded fair inside 3rd and down the line. Grabbing it is the left fielder Cardenas, but holding Bradford to a single is Cardenas because of that no doubles defense. And so it's just a single for Bradford, and now Anna Gonzalez. The tying run is aboard. The go-ahead run is at the plate, and Anna Gonzalez, the right fielder. Gonzalez 0 for 2 in this ball game. Fly to center in the 1st, was called out on strikes in the 4th, was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Aledo still 1 out away from getting to Austin. The pitch is outside for ball 1, 1-0. Tip your cap to Bradford. She's just been a tough out, and she's been responsible for pretty much all this offense for Melissa. 5-4 Aledo leads, top of the 7th inning. 1 out away. 1-0 count to Gonzalez. Perry holding her composure now, leans back a little bit, and now I think we got time called as maybe she couldn't see exactly what Braylee Meyer was signaling to her. Now we're ready at 1-0. And the pitch is taken outside for ball 2, 2-0. What do you know? Rihanna Wynn waits next, the designated player. And now a quick word from Meyer out to Perry. A 2-0 count. The tying run is at first in Shug Bradford. As Aledo leads in this state semifinal game 5-4. 1 out away. Can Aledo close it? 2-0 pitch on the way. Taken high for ball 3, 3-0. And it almost looked like Perry was trying to guide that pitch in there. If you're Gonzalez, you're probably taking here at 3-0. Perry waits. Now back on the mound. And the 3-0 pitch is taken outside for ball 4, and that wasn't even close. So now Perry's in a pickle. Melissa not going away quietly. You wouldn't expect anything less. Bradford moves down to second base. So the tying run is in scoring position. And that brings up Rihanna Wren, the designated player. She has walked and struck out twice. This is the beauty of hardball. You got to get all the outs. You can't dribble out the clock and you can't take a knee. You got to get all the outs. And the pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner to Wren. Bradford at second, Gonzalez at first. 5-4, Aledo leads. Perry has what she wants from Meyer. And the 1-strike pitch swung on and pulled foul, and now Aledo is 1 strike away. Tolo will take that foul ball and hand it to her pitcher. No balls and 2 strikes to Rihanna Wren here. Aledo 5, Melissa 4. Can the Ladycats get back to Austin for the state championship? Perry twitching with the ball, now puts it in her glove. And the 2-strike pitch on the way is a check swing, called strike 3! And Aledo is going to the state championship. It's a madhouse here in Denton on the right side of this ballpark. Hugs of celebration. Now the formal handshake line is taking place between both teams. This Aledo crowd is absolutely electric, and the Ladycats are going back to Austin to play for a state championship next Friday. Final score here in Denton. Aledo 5 and Melissa 4. We'll have the totals on our pregame comments and interviews following this timeout, but the Ladycats get their revenge, if you will, on Melissa. They win this game by a score of 5-4. They're playing for a state title next Friday afternoon in Austin. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with our postgame show right after these messages.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Well, Aledo fans, your Ladycats are headed back to the state championship game. A dramatic 5-4 victory over the Melissa Lady Cardinals here in Denton High School today. They are going through the postgame medal ceremony here for Melissa, which finishes obviously in third place. They all get bronze medals, kind of like what Aledo did last year. It was kind of an awkward setting because last year when the UIL went through the medal ceremonies, they actually kind of messed that up because it was the first time in the playoffs where they had split things up from Division I and Division II. Of course, Aledo not getting a medal, but they're standing respectfully on the first base line. And the very dejected Melissa team, which had won all 6 of its playoff games via the run rule, had averaged 14 runs per game, held to 4 in this one as they fall short in the state semifinals. But Aledo, if you heard our podcast in this on Monday over at Parker County Brewing Company, Tempe Perry was with us here, Riley Marks was with us here, Coach Myers. They were talking about that they were confident, they weren't worried about it, they felt like they could play this team, they felt like they could match them pitch per pitch, and they did that. Kevin Lonnquist back here at the Hiley Mazda broadcast table. The medal ceremony is over. We're also going to have a couple of players along with Coach Myers joining us here. And let's give you the totals from this afternoon or this evening's ball game. For Aledo to win it, 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. For Melissa, 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher is Tempe Perry. She's now at 15-4. The losing pitcher is Eloisa Mays. She falls and ends her season at 30-3. They're taking a picture right there in front of the circle as they are going back to the state championship. So obviously had to get that prepared and just in case they could break it out, and so they did break it out. And so Perry again gets her record to 15-4, and Aledo won this game because of the long ball. That's kind of the underlying story here, and the fact that Aledo's lineup, of course, can hit home runs, but Melissa, a team that hit 98 home runs coming into this game, but Aledo hit 3 of them, 2 to give them the lead. They were clutch home runs. All 3 of them were really clutch. Maybe the key at bat in this game for Aledo was after Melissa scored 3 runs in the top of the first inning, Delaney Rosser led off, and on I think what was the second pitch of her at bat, she laced a home run off the left field scoreboard, or off the scoreboard in left field, to cut that lead to 3-1. That was the answer that Aledo was looking for. Ladycats were able to load the bases in the bottom of the second inning. They got a scoring fly ball from Kellen Overturf to make it 3-2. Then in the bottom of the 4th inning, 2-out damage. Kellen Overturf once again started it. She had a single up to center field, and then Braylee Meyer, first pitch she saw, she rifled it over the center field wall to give Aledo a 4-3 lead rather. Melissa got this game tied in the top of the 6th inning rather, where Shug Bradford homered over the left center field stands to tie the game at 4-4. But after escaping a bases loaded 1-out jam, because that's what Tempe Perry had to do, she got Braden Young out on strikes on a called third strike, which probably was the biggest at bat of the game right there. And then Hutton Adrian hit into a fielder's choice in which Delaney Rosser won the race to the second base bag to end the inning. And then on the first pitch of the bottom of the 6th inning, Brooklyn Toloa, a solid long home run to left center field, which gave the Ladycats a 5-4 lead. Ladycats had runners at second and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, could not score after that. Then we go to the top of the 7th inning, where Perry was facing the meat of the order for Melissa. She got Kennedy Bradley on a pop foul to Braley Meyer for the first out, and then Izzy Gonzalez on a comebacker to Tempe Perry with 2 outs. But then Shug Bradford, she had the big game for Melissa. 3 hits, drove in 3 runs, a 2-run double in the first, a solo home run in the 6th. She singled down the left field line, but great outfield defense by Kennedy Cardinals to hold her at first base. Then Anna Gonzalez walked to put the tying run at second base, but Rihanna Wren called out on strikes to end the ball game, and Aledo improves its record to 30-10, and will play next Friday afternoon a 4 o'clock start at Red and Charlene McCombs Field on the University of Texas campus. We can tell you that the first game of that best-of-3 series between Barbers Hill and Leander has gone final. Barbers Hill won that game by a score of 8-1. And don't forget, the NTX Varsity Sports.com crew will be bringing you Bearcat baseball in the Class 5A state quarterfinals of the Region 1 championship game tomorrow afternoon. That's a 2 o'clock. That's a noon start. 11:45 is the pregame show, and the Ladycats now get to listen to see if the Bearcats can get to the state semifinals, in which the Ladycats have now advanced. Joined now by winning pitcher Tempe Perry. This is your pitching.
Hi.
This is your pitching line, young lady. Okay, 7 innings, 7 hits, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts, 3 hit batters hit by pitch. And I think you love the draw. I mean, you have this flair for drama, but it was like every time you needed to make a pitch, Tempe, you delivered. Just talk about the stress of the last 2 innings, because that's what this game was all about.
Every time I was under pressure tonight, my defense talked to me. They had my back the entire night. I might have had 7 hits against me. I might have had 6 walks and hit by pitches, but my defense had my back all night. Double plays, diving catches. There wasn't a play that they didn't make that I needed them to make. They made every single play. I trusted if I missed my spot, they had my back. No matter what, my defense had my back tonight, and it's really easy as a pitcher to do whenever your defense has your back like that.
Yeah, you had 2 double plays in this game. Kennedy Cardenas starts that one from throwing out the runner
Insane.
at third.
Wow.
Yes, amazing play by her, and then Delaney Rosser catching that line drive right at her shoe tops to get the double off the runner at first.
Saving runs.
Yeah, saving runs, and of course, and I think maybe the under-heralded play too was Kaylee Martin, because she had that conflict, she had that kind of that miscommunication there in the first inning, but then she makes that diving catch for you a couple innings later too, which vanquished a scoring threat. So every time you needed an out, it didn't matter. It wasn't anyone in particular player. It was somebody on all 9 positions of the field helping you out, or 8 rather.
I felt every single one of my teammates in the circle tonight, and I didn't get the job done at the plate, but my teammates had my back. They put 9 hits up there, so I might have not had the best night at the plate, but I knew my job tonight was to go out there and pitch the ball, and my defense just has my back, and it's just an amazing feeling. And it's a one-of-a-kind feeling.
Yeah,
100%.
Say, just talk about the emotion too, because this team lost this game last year to Melissa 15-4. You talked to me on Monday at the podcast about how you guys did not fear them. You said that yourself, that you didn't fear them. So, and it proved that way. I mean, I think, and maybe the key thing for you all was Delaney Rosser's leadoff home run in the bottom of the first that answered that 3-run for. But that just kind of said that you guys were not intimidated by this.
Yeah, we were not scared of them. We're not going to be scared going into the state game in Austin either. We went in with the plan tonight. We completely executed that plan, and we're going to have a plan in Austin this week coming up too. I don't fear batters. I know that they are talented hitters, and they have an amazing coach behind them that teaches them every single fundamental that they need to know. And so going in today, I just knew that I was going to have to work around them and just feed my defense, and that's exactly what I did tonight. Those hitters are phenomenal hitters, and we got the job done tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think some of the way you were pitching these folks was by design, because the fact that the power in that lineup, 98 home runs coming in, and the fact that you weren't pitching in down the middle. You were kind of going in and out, up and down, and if you surrendered some walks or if you were getting behind in the count, things you're going to have to live with. And it seemed like they were willing to wait you out too in some respects. But it's just kind of like, just talk about your mindset about just getting through and going through a grind, because that was a grind for you tonight.
You know, they're very disciplined hitters, so I knew going in I was going to have to attack the zone. And tonight, I'm going to be honest, I didn't throw as many strikes as I wanted to. The umpire was a little wishy-washy, but I'll never blame the umpire. We control what we can control. I mean, I made lots of missed pitches tonight, but even in the Birdville series, I had runners on every single inning. And when I get put in those pressure situations, I feel like it's a privilege. And I was talking to God. I was talking to my teammates. I don't know if you saw me.
Everybody.
I was talking. My mouth was moving. You know, the energy that my defense feeds into me. It's just such an encouraging moment right there. And my defense had my back all day, and so did the bats. I mean, that home run just completely changed the momentum of the game. The double plays changed the momentum of the game. It's plays like that completely change the momentum of the game.
Last question for you. So many momentum turns for you guys, too, because not only you get the double play ball that Kennedy starts in the left field in the second inning, you guys capitalize and at least get one run out of that second inning. And then it seemed like when Braley gets the 2-run homer for you guys, and then the way you guys get out of the 6th, when you get out of the bases loaded 1-out jam in the 6th, and then Brooklyn on the first pitch of the 6th gives you the lead again. Just it has to be so emotional that you've got to try and keep it as level as you can.
We talked about applying pressure to the defense. I mean, they have a very talented D1 infield and a very talented D1 outfield. And so tonight we're going to put balls in play, try to apply pressure on their defense. And you could see that clearly work. There was bobbles, there was missed throws, there was plays in the dirt. You know, no matter what, like, we were applying pressure no matter what, and I think that's what really turned this game over. Whenever they got any ounce of momentum, we applied pressure right back on them.
I think you're going to get the ball one more time.
We're going to Austin, baby. Here we go.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, now we're going to be joined by Aledo head coach Heather Myers. Heather Myers here. You know, Heather Myers joins us here. First of all, congratulations to you. An amazing feeling. You finally got through on this.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, and you said to me on the podcast on Monday, and Tempe said it, and even Riley said it, that you guys did not fear this team.
No.
You felt like you guys could play with them, and you did. You out-homered them in this game 3-1.
Man, that's a God thing, too. Yeah, we were prepared, and that's what I kept telling them. If you could hear me at all at third base, I said it to almost every hitter when they came up, like, you are prepared. You are prepared. So we knew that we were going to come in and hit her, and I didn't know they were going to hit home runs like that, but I'll take it. You know, that was nice.
You know, I think maybe for you all, the biggest at-bat in this game was Delaney Rosser's leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning, because they strike quickly, they get through. That's kind of like what Melissa does. They want to jump on people quickly. Yep. You guys had the unfortunate defensive lapse in right field, which set up the last 2 runs. But when Delaney hit that home run, I want to think that really settled you guys. And when you answer, you know, they talk about the shutdown inning, but you guys didn't allow that to happen. When Delaney hit that home run, it just seemed like it took something off the edge off of you guys, and maybe send a message to them, we're in this for all 7 with you guys.
Oh, for sure. You could see it in their faces on defense. They were like, oh, okay. But honestly, I don't think they were taking us for granted. I shouldn't say that.
No.
But as far as our dugout went, when they scored those 3 runs, I don't think they realized it, that they kind of like deflated a little bit, which, you know, you expect that.
Sure.
You don't want it, but it's to be expected. And then when Delaney hit it off the scoreboard, it's like life was restored. I mean, they were jumping up just like we just won, and I was like, okay. That told them right there that they can do this, that they can hang with this team. They knew it, but they had to prove it to themselves, and that right there just set it off for them.
Yeah, your defense tonight, outstanding.
Absolutely.
Kennedy starts that double play in the second inning, throwing out the runner right there. That's a base run in error by them for sure, with the ball hit in front of her. And then Delaney starts that 6-3 double play where she catches the line drive right off her foot, right off her shoe tops. I mean, it was a clean catch.
We worked that this week, actually.
Did you really?
Unintentionally, but yes.
You know, there's a phrase for that. It's called "May fortune favor the foolish" or something like that. But
luck favors the prepared.
Exactly. But at the same time, though, your defense, though, and I was just saying this to Tempe, is the fact that it wasn't just one in particular player, but everybody had a hand in this defensively for you guys.
Yes, and you're going to hear them talk about it all the time, and you probably hear me talk about it on the podcast all the time. Clean 21, clean 21. We harp on them about that. So we practice hard. We practice fast and we practice hard so that they're used to that fast pace where they don't really have time to think. They just have to make the play. And so when situations like this, it kind of mimics that pressure.
Yeah.
So that's what that is, and you see it. Like, they don't look scared. They just go and play ball, and I love it.
I know if you're starting pitcher, goes all 7 innings, hits 3 batters, walks 6, and gets consistently behind in the last 2 batters. Coach, I'm surprised you have any hair left or your hair hasn't turned sheet white because of that. But, the one thing about Tempe, though, is that when she needed to make a pitch for you in this game, she did.
Well, our plan was to keep them off balance, and so part of keeping a good hitting ball club off balance is you have to be around the zone, not necessarily in the zone. And whenever your umpire's not giving you anything around the zone, you're going to get more balls. You're going to have more walks. But I felt like, we can have the walks because we're going to make the defensive plays, and she's going to make the pitches to keep the ball in the park for the most part. How many home runs did they hit? 2?
They hit one. Shug hit the Bradford hit the home run to tie it in the top of the 6th. She had the 2-run double in the 3rd inning.
Right. So she was their best hitter tonight for sure.
Yes, for sure.
But 1 home run in the 2 times that we've played them this season. I mean, Tempe's kept them in the yard, and that's not a team you keep in the yard.
No.
And she does it by keeping
them
off balance.
You out-homered them 3-1 in this game.
We did.
That's crazy. Okay, we talked about Delaney with the leadoff home run, but I think once you guys grabbed the lead from Braley's 2-out home run in the 4th inning, obviously, I think that also sent a shockwave. Now, they eventually answered, but when you guys grabbed the lead, I think that was probably it was another big lift for you because it's the middle of the game and they can turn at any point. But at the same time, it was just kind of an innocent way to hit a 2-run home run because Kellen, who, by the way, great offensive game for Kellen tonight.
Kellen hit well tonight.
Scoring fly ball, 2 singles, the one that led to the Braley 2-run shot. Just a seeing-eyed single up the middle like a 35 hopper up into center field. But whatever it takes. But the fact that she was so huge for you though because she was just setting up opportunities. But it seemed like Braley first or second pitch
first pitch
rocketed that thing over
did.
center field. I mean it's 215 to dead center, and I promise you that was at least 240 or something
no
like.
No doubt, it was a no doubter. I mean, I was jumping up and down. I'm sure y'all saw me. I was pretty excited about it.
But the way that, and just to finish off the game, we talk about momentum swings in this throughout this ball game. But obviously, the first one was bases loaded, 1 out in the 6th for them. They had just tied the game on the Bradford solo home run, and then Tempe gets out of it on that when Delaney wins the race to the second base bag on the ground ball up the middle, and then first pitch of the 6th as Brooklyn goes deep on that. I mean, you talk about wild momentum swings. I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy, but again, we were prepared at the plate, and defensively, if we play our game, we're going to shut some teams down. And obviously, Melissa's a top-ranked national team. They're not a bad team, and by any means. And so, just being able to play the clean defense really set up our offense, and it helped Tempe a lot. So, I'm just so proud of them.
Well, graduation is on Friday, and so you can take 2 days off, and then you have to get ready for one more game and that bus ride to Austin on, I believe, are you all going to leave Thursday or Friday morning?
Well, we play Friday, so we would have to leave Thursday.
Okay, so you would stay overnight.
We're going to stay, because we play at 4 on Friday, and I'm not gonna travel on the day of the game.
We should all have such problems, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
And the other thing, the other trip you got to make is you got to bring 2 players with you to the Aledo podcast on Tuesday.
Who do you want to bring?
We'll talk about it another time. But you just worry about that and enjoy yourself because you got your team back to the state championship. And so, a final question for you here, Coach Myers. What did you learn about your team tonight?
I thought they were gritty, and then I saw it like tenfold tonight. After Delaney's home run, they never let up. So I learned a lot. They don't crumble under pressure. I knew that, but I got to experience it again tonight, and it's incredible.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and so I was happy for them. And again, no one can ever accuse me of being the bad luck charm for you guys.
No, you're not. You can come to every game.
Congratulations to you, Heather. We're happy for you guys, and we'll see you on the podcast on Tuesday with a couple of players. We'll talk about. And by the way, Barbers Hill won that first game of that series, 8-1 over Leanda. So, and I think Game 2 is tomorrow, I think, and then if they get to a third game, that would be Saturday. But again,
I think it's tomorrow at 4.
I think it's tomorrow. So you all have enough of your issues here, and so congratulations to you on that. And so now we're going to be joined by the hero of the game in Brooklyn. Well, there are a lot of heroes, but Brooklyn Taloa is going to be joining us here. We'll see them on Tuesday night with Coach Myers and a couple of her players. And Brooklyn Taloa, the first baseman for the Ladycats, 2 for 3 tonight, had a single back in the 2nd inning, line drive to center field in the 4th inning, and then that bomb to left center field in the sixth inning to give you all what turned out to be the game-winning run. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But just take us through the emotions for you in winning a game like this against a program like Melissa, two-time state champion, going for a third straight title.
Yeah, I think we knew going to that game that, like, we have nothing to lose. They have everything on their backs. There's no pressure for us. All we can do is go out and play ball. And we prepared so much this week and put so much work in to be able to be successful. And I think it showed. And now it's just, there's no better feeling than winning that game.
You know, there's talk about momentum here, and you all get out of that bases-loaded jam in the sixth inning. You guys get the last 2 outs, and that the called strikeout that Tempe gets, and then Delaney gets out of that on the fielder's choice out at second base. And then first pitch for you. Were you looking first pitch dead red, or what were you?
Okay. My first 2 at-bats, she had thrown me a first pitch strike. The first at-bat, I took it because my game plan going in was taking until I'm getting a strike because all the film we had watched, she was just throwing balls. So I took that first pitch. Then the second pitch, the next at-bat was a first pitch strike too, and I knew going to that third at-bat, it had been successful both times, so why not throw to third? And
you read her mind, and you just deposited that.
Yes, sir.
Your 7th home run of the year. For this program, of course, you were a freshman last year, and so maybe not being a part of what last year's game was all about to a great extent, but you knew the stories when they lost 15-4. And the podcast on Monday night over at Parker County was that both Tempe and Riley were talking about they did not fear this team. They were ready to play. Heather Myers said the same way, and it looked like it. And I said to Coach Myers, and I also said it to Tempe, that solo home run by Delaney in the bottom of the first inning to answer their 3-run first inning, I think it kind of set the tone for you all. Talk about that.
100%. We knew going into the game that they were going to hit and score runs, but we also knew that we were too, and that it was going to come down to whoever played the cleanest 21 outs because both teams were going to hit. And I think when they scored those first 3 runs, our mindset had to be at 0-0. There's nothing to lose. Like, we're going to score runs. And then whenever Delaney hit that home run, we're like, okay, we're in this. There's no going. Like, we're just going to win.
Okay. And so just talk about the fact, though, that you guys, that called third strikeout, I mean, of course, you can't have a 1-2-3 top of the 7th inning and just be you got to have a little bit of drama to it. They got to have 2 runners on with 2 out. But just take us through the composure, because for one, in the 6th inning, you guys were up 4-3. They tied, and then they're trying to threaten to take the lead. And then you guys obviously retake the lead on your home run, and then you're trying to get out of this mess in the 7th inning. Just take us through the composure that this team had about trying to just withstand that stress.
Yeah, 100%. I think that this year we kept our composure and stayed calm. Last year things got out of hand, like we were so nervous, but I think this year we had nothing to lose, and we knew in the circle if you win every pitch, you're going to win every at-bat. And then going in and having Tempe pitching and knowing that we have her back and she has our back, there was no losing that game.
Final question for you. You get to wear the uniform one more time next Friday. What does that mean to you?
Yes, sir. It's just great. I think the whole community being here, showing up for us, and then my teammates, my best friends, like I wouldn't want to play with anybody else, and just being able to represent Aledo the way that we have is like the best feeling ever.
Maybe the best moment of your young career, too, I would think.
100%. Yes, sir.
All right, you'll take that memory. You can sit there when you're about 40, 50 years from now, you can have your grandchild on your knee and you can talk to her or him about all that. So It's a great moment. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Guys get to do it one more time. Best of luck to you all next Friday.
Thank you.
All right. And that'll do it here for us for NTXVarsitySports.com. Once again, the line of score in this game, Aledo 5, and let me correct this too. Aledo 5 runs, 9 hits and no errors. Melissa 4 runs, 7 hits and 1 error. The Ladycats win this game by a score of 5-4. They are moving on to the state semifinals here. The state finals next week. Class 5A Division I state championship. It'll be the final softball game that Aledo will play as a Class 5A school. Then it will move up to Class 6A starting in the 2027 season. We want to thank Hiley Mazda for being with us here throughout the course of all these broadcasts that they've made this possible, not only for the basketball season, but also the baseball and the softball seasons. And they will be joining us one more time down in Austin as the Ladycats will be taking on either Barbers Hill or Leanda. Barbers Hill won that first game tonight, 8-1 down there in Waller. Game 2 is tomorrow afternoon, so the Ladycats still do not know who they're going to play. But what they do know is they are going to be wearing the uniform, and they are going to be playing for their 4th state title in school history. Last time they got to the state championship game was back in 2021, and so the Ladycats moving on to the state finals. Their record now at 30-10. Been a pleasure bringing this to you for my producer engineer, Brody Gates, who did a wonderful job flagging down two players in Tempe Perry and Brooklyn Taloa and head coach Heather Myers. I'm Kevin Lonnquist here from Denton County. Once again, the final score, Aledo 5, Melissa 4. The Ladycats are going to be playing for a state championship next Friday, May the 29th at 4 o'clock. And NTX Varsity Sports will bring it to you. So long from Denton County.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.